Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and cloudy for today. Some showers arriving later. Later tonight, though, we're also expecting thunderstorms, and that'll go right into our Wednesday.
Tonight, that severe threat low. It's west of I-65, Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Murray, Paris, Waverly, and Decaturville. For tomorrow,
they're planning a protest here at the Capitol later this morning. Calling on the proposal an effort to weaken black voter representation.
That's Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac there. A special session begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Iran is out with a warning this morning saying that ships trying to cross the Strait of Hormuz would be, quote, categorically dealt with. That warning comes on day 2 of President Trump's operation to guide commercial vessels through the waterway.
The escalation coming after President Trump announced a new effort to guide tankers through the strait. 2 U.S.-flagged ships making it through yesterday. But Iran responded, firing at U.S. Navy vessels and a South Korean ship. The U.S. firing back, sinking 6 Iranian boats. President Trump refusing to say whether this means the ceasefire is over.
That's ABC's Lindsay Tuckman, Iran's chief negotiator. Lindsay Tuckman, Iran's chief negotiator, accuses the U.S. of violating the ceasefire. A Dutch luxury cruise ship is stuck in the South Atlantic after the deaths of 3 people from hantavirus.
The World Health Organization is calling it a cluster, not an outbreak, of hantavirus aboard the cruise ship Hondius, which remains anchored off the coast of West Africa. The WHO's working theory is that a Dutch couple brought the virus on board when they embarked in Argentina. They both have died. Only their deaths are confirmed as related to hantavirus. A 3rd fatality and 4 illnesses are suspect cases.
ABC's Jim Ryan there. It's not clear when the passengers will be able to disembark and go home. Rudy Giuliani out of a coma and talking now, what doctors say is a miracle. America's mayor had been on a ventilator, and a priest delivered last rites. He's been suffering with pneumonia. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Dow Jones Industrials trading up 220 right now. The NASDAQ up 221. S&P is gaining 50. That's the latest news. Weather and traffic are next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
7 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. A little delayed. Mason was telling me how mean he is to his roommates. So, would you like to own up to anything on the air or publicly apologize?
Listen, if you can't scare your roommates every once in a while, what's the point?
What's the point? What's the point of having roommates? Well, actually, have you seen the cost of living? That's the point.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the point. We got a lot to get to today. Really excited about the show. There's a lot of primaries happening in the state of Tennessee today. The Rutherford County primary is the one that I've been paying the most attention to. I don't know if you knew this, but I do live in Rutherford County. The mayoral, the sheriff primaries. The mayor, we got Randy Allen, Joe Carr, Craig Harris. For sheriff, we got Kenneth Barrett, Trey Mansfield, Steve Spence. I actually hosted a debate with all of these guys. In the Rutherford County GOP, they invited me. I said, you don't have anybody else? They said, we don't have anybody else. I said, oh, all right. So I showed up and I hosted this debate. If you're in Rutherford County, you don't know who to vote for in one of these local elections, you can get a bit more information and meet those candidates. You can find my Twitter account at Chris Hand on Air. I posted both of those debates last night. Kenneth Barrett is going to be in studio today. He reached out. He said, hey, can I come in and do an interview? I said, absolutely. And listen, it's not just Rutherford County. We also have Davidson County. There's a bunch of primaries going on today. If you're running for office, especially in one of these low turnout elections, and you want a last-minute elevator push and a pitch for your candidacy, you're welcome to call in. I'll give you the floor. What do we do? 2 minutes? Let's do 90 seconds. I'll tell you what, let's do 60 seconds, and if you're interesting, we can go up to 2. Is that fair? Is that rude? I don't know. Like, do we have a buzzer sound effect? Okay.
Oh, I could find it.
Sorry, you got boring on us. We're going to have to discontinue this call. No, but seriously, if you do want to make that elevator pitch, we are welcome to have you on. I do think that these local elections mean a heck of a lot because the turnout is just so low. We need more turnout in these elections. So get on the radio, man. Let's do it. 615-737-9986. Well, again, we'll have the sheriff candidate for Rutherford County, Kenneth Barrett, in studio at 9:35. But Trey Mansfield, Steve Spence, you guys want to call in? You're more than welcome to. I'll give you the equal time that Kenneth gets. And then Randy Allen, Joe Carr, Craig Harris, you guys can call in as well. I'm down. We also got to, it feels like there's a lot happening locally, not just the primaries.
Absolutely.
The primaries mean a lot, especially because Republicans are probably going to win, right? So the primary means just about everything. It's essentially the actual election. But then we also have the Tennessee special session starting today, which is very, very exciting. We're going to get our maps redrawn. We were looking forward to it. I'm here for it. I love seeing some fight from the Republicans. Don't you love seeing a little bit of fight?
A little bit of gumption.
You know, just a little gumption.
Little oomph.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth. You're perfect today. How are you doing this?
I'm here for it.
We're here for it, too. Yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court granted Louisiana's request to fast-track their judgment to allow the red state to redistrict ahead of the 2026 midterms. What that means is racial gerrymandering is absolutely fried. It is not going forward. Louisiana is on track to redraw. Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented, but here's the fun part. Sam Alito, Clarence Thomas, they went for the jugular with Ketanji Brown Jackson's dissent, calling it trivial at best, and the other is baseless and insulting. Jackson attacked the majority and argued that Louisiana should be required to use an unconstitutional, racially gerrymandered map in the 2026 midterm directly against the majority ruling. And Alito wasn't a huge fan of that, saying the dissent goes on to claim that our decision represents an unprincipled use of power. That is a groundless and utterly irresponsible charge. What principle has the court violated? The principle rule 45.3's 32-day default period should never be shortened, even when there is a good reason to do so. The principle that we should never take any action that might unjustifiably be criticized as partisan. The dissent accuses the court of unshackling itself from constraints. It is the dissent's rhetoric that lacks restraint. It's fiery. Went on to say the dissent in this suit levels charges that cannot go unanswered. The dissent would require that the 2026 congressional elections in Louisiana be held under a map that has been held to be unconstitutional. The dissent does not claim that it is too late for the state legislature or the district court to adopt a new map that complies with the Constitution, nor does the dissent assert that it is not feasible for the elections to be held under such a map. Instead, the dissent offers two reasons for its proposed course of action. One is trivial at best, and the other is baseless and insulting. Gorsuch signed on to this also. Nobody's playing any games. Notice Amy Coney Barrett. She was just chilling. She was busy. She just didn't have anything to say. Got it. We also, as we look at our redistricting, I think it's important to point out that the Democrats are very upset, very salty. One guy who wants to get the seat of one Steve Cohen, they want representation. And one guy that wants Steve Cohen's seat is Justin Pearson. And Justin Pearson, he's got some reasons for why he's against the redistricting. And he said it's because Donald Trump is a white supremacist and a terrorist. I kid you not.
Donald Trump is a white supremacist domestic terrorist who is seeking to destroy our democracy by any means necessary, including by usurping democracy itself and the voices of the people. And Governor Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, and Lieutenant Governor McNally have all decided to join him in this effort to destroy our democracy, to take away our voice, and to attack black people and black representation. And that's wrong.
No. So I saw Matt Murphy tweet this video last night, and I chuckled. I chuckled a bit. Because, nothing says black representation like the old white man, Steve Cohen, representing you. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Justin Pearson, I think it's also important to point out that even Democrats don't like Justin Pearson. I've been in a few conversations with a few Democrat strategists, not by choice, by happenstance, when I did the Fox 17 Nashville in Focus show with my boy Steve Couch. Steve's a good guy. And he invites me on from time to time, though I haven't gotten an invite lately. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit too unhinged. But the Democrats don't like this guy at all either. They think he's performative. And when I made the point, I'm like, I don't know. You guys tell me that old white men are bad all the time. They're like, yeah, but Justin Pearson can't win because everybody hates him.
Exactly. Donald Trump is a white supremacist domestic terrorist who is seeking to destroy our democracy by any means necessary, including by usurping democracy itself and the voices of the people. And Governor Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, and Lieutenant Governor McNally have all decided to join him in this effort to destroy our democracy, to take away our voice, and to attack black people and black representation. And that's wrong.
Yeah. Fight the power. I will say this, and I don't want to just pile on and say mean things about Justin Pearson. He has the sickest fro in politics. Can everybody just acknowledge it for a second? Let's put politics aside and let's acknowledge the greatness of the fro. It's pretty sick. I'm not even joking. I think that the fro is awesome. We need more fros in politics. Bring back the fro.
I agree with this.
Did I ever tell you that when I was in middle school?
You had a fro?
No, not me. But we did have an Irish guy with red hair who went full fro.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. And then there was a girl in our class, just Jay Boone, we used to call her, Jay Boone. I didn't know she was black. She happened to be black. I'm colorblind. But one day Jay Boone spent the morning putting half of my redheaded Irish friend Adam Sanderson's fro in cornrows.
Oh, wow.
So for about 2 weeks after that, there was this, Adam was so Irish that he couldn't go out in the sun. I'm just letting you know. But for a couple of weeks there, he had half fro and half cornrows. And I don't think that fro should be limited to one racial group. I think that we should spread it out.
I'm here for it.
There's some Republicans that could use a fro. Mitch McConnell. Imagine how sick Mitch would look with a fro. Dude.
Massive fro, Blake Stare.
John Thune. I haven't been a fan of him lately, but if he got a fro, would be a huge fan. I would change my opinion of him overnight. I'd be like, you know what? It's pretty sick.
You join the fan club with Joan?
It's pretty sick, Mr. Thune, Mr. Speaker, leader majority. This is great.
Joan jumped off the bandwagon for John Thune. So
you're off the Thune bandwagon?
Yeah.
What happened to the frame that you had made with his picture in it?
I tossed it out the window.
Why are you off the Thune bandwagon?
Well, I don't like what's happening in the Senate at all.
Do you mean the dragging of the feet and not getting anything done, but allowing Democrats to bring bills to the floor?
It feels so swampy and so deliberate and so anti-Trump, and I'm really mad.
But Thrun has been anti-Trump for years.
You know, I don't think I was looking past how good looking he is, Chris. And
It's fair.
yeah.
Many such cases. And
happens.
listen, I wouldn't be able to look past it if he had a fro. I would be a big fan. We just need more cool. That's what we need.
He's a tall man, so a fro could make him even taller. You know,
He would look like a white Dr. J if he had a fro.
yeah.
Be dunking on these Dems. That's
But
what.
he wouldn't be, and that's
Mason almost has a fro.
he does,
Mason has the Gen Z poof.
dude. Yeah,
It's there.
And he does the shimmy shuffle with it. The shimmy, and then he does the thing.
Exclusive for the lightning round.
Yeah. He does it. I say every now and again, I'm looking up, and I'm be like mid-fire in a monologue, and I see Mason do the shuffle. And I'll be
Just
like,
me moving back and forth. It's not really intentional.
I'm like yelling. I'm like, the king shouldn't be allowing his country to be run over by Muslims. And then I see Mason do like a little shimmy, and he's just fluffing his fro. I'm like, okay, bro, I have to focus. So we got a lot going on today. Again, Kenneth Barrett is running for sheriff in Rutherford County. He's going to be in at 9:20-ish. Well, he's going to be in soon, and then we'll get him on at 9:35. And then anybody else that's running, if you're in a primary today, by all means, jump on the phone lines. Let's give you some time so that way you can make your pitch. We do want a lot of voter turnout. We're not going to get it, but any one vote could actually make a difference in these primaries. So if you're running for office, if you know somebody running for office, let them know the floor is theirs today, 615-737-9986. The Tennessee special session starts today. We'll be paying attention to that, and we'll just keep going on with the going on. Did you see what happened with Cole Allen in court yesterday?
No, what happened?
Well, the would-be Trump assassin finally got the apology that he deserves.
Ah.
Yep. Who apologized to him, you might ask? It was a Barack Hussein Obama-appointed judge.
Ah, of course.
With a last name I'm going to do my best to pronunciate. So we'll talk about that. There was also a Secret Service shooting outside the White House yesterday we'll talk about as well. I don't know. You tell me. Threat against the vice president. Usual suspects in D.C. I don't know. But Secret Service was on it, and they were on it fast. We'll bring you that audio. We'll also bring you some of the audio from Pete Hegseth's press conference. Again, there's a ton to get to. Not a lot of time. Hang out with us. It's 9:20 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And if your home is not as comfortable as it should be right now, it's probably time to call my friends at Busy Bee. And honestly, it's probably the best time to do it because they have some strong offers going on today. Right now, you can get special financing on new HVAC systems with up to 12 months with no payments and no interest, no prepayment penalties. Approvals vary by credit, but it gives you some breathing room. And here's the bonus. If you install a high-efficiency system, we're talking 17 SEER or higher, they'll throw in a free Yeti Tundra 45 cooler. Not a bad deal, especially if you're getting ready to hit the beach. This is going to be a nice asset for you. And if you're more focused on air quality, you got to check out their Healthy Hive package. It includes electronic air cleaner, a whole home UV system, normally right around $2,800, but right now, today, you can get it installed for $2,299. They'll even handle the TVA rebates for you, so you'll get like $800 back on mini splits, $500 to $800 back on heat pumps, and even $50 back on an AC tune-up. And Busy Bee does all the paperwork for you. All you have to do is save the money. And if you've got plumbing issues, well, they got deals there too. $300 off whole home drain repipes, $500 off water distribution repipes. So whether it's heating, plumbing, cooling, Busy Bee's got you covered. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis from Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nashville's Morning News. I'm here with Chris from USS, United Structural Systems. He's checking out my basement, my foundation, my crawl space to see if there's anything wrong. Fingers crossed. All right, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we found some cracks in my basement wall. The good news, I've got Chris here who's going to walk me through the next steps.
Yes, so unfortunately, your house has been subject to the pressure of the dirt. The hydrostatic pressure, heavy dirt pushes on foundation walls, and you've got a little bit of what we call bowing. So that wall is pushed in a little bit. We have a lifetime warranty solution for that. So we install, usually in a day or two, this can be done in most situations. We install carbon fiber straps, which keep the wall from moving inward at any point in the future. It's a lifetime warranty for anybody that ever owns this house. So it's a quick and routine thing that we do, but it yields some long-lasting benefits.
It's a great selling point if you want to sell your house.
Absolutely. Good thing about our warranties is they're not only transferable, like the contract says, they're automatically transferred when you sell your house. So you don't have to sign any paperwork or even send us an email saying that you sold your house. Warranty would transfer to the next owner.
Coming up, we've got rain and thunderstorms headed our way. Some details on when to expect that and how serious it'll be coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. This audience never disappoints. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening. All the apps, the FM dial, Radio Classic. Whether you're watching on Super Talk TV, which is on YouTube and Rumble, 0451. Do you see what they texted in?
I do see what they texted in.
They texted in a picture of Mitch McConnell with a fro. And I got to be honest with you, it's just as badass as I thought it would be. I like him much more. I like him way more.
The empty stare seems intentional this time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 4702 said the most famous afro on a white man, Bob Ross.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure that was a happy little accident, though. I don't know if it was intentional. But he made the best of it.
That looks very intentional. That's years of.
I heard it was a happy little accident.
You never know.
Marie in Williamson County, she's running for an office. Marie, what office are you running for? Marie?
For Williamson County Commission? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, what are you running for?
I'm running for Williamson County Commission, District 11, which covers Tollgate all the way up into Franklin, into downtown Franklin.
All right, give me your elevator pitch. Why should people vote for you?
Well, I am a true conservative who watched what happened in California take over California, and when I first moved to Franklin, I saw a couple of things that concerned me. I stand for public safety, responsible growth, and fiscal conservativeness. So, in short, I'm a true Republican. I've been a Republican my entire life. I moved here after I retired from the Los Angeles Police Department after serving for 26 years. I'm retiring as a lieutenant, and I got here, saw some things that concerned me, and started paying attention to the local politics and decided to get involved.
And what was your last name again, Marie?
Fellhauer, spelled F as in Frank, Ellhauer.
Marie Fellhauer. Okay, last question real quick. How do you feel about white guys with fros?
I don't have a problem with anybody with a fro.
I love it. I'm obviously just messing with you. Where can people find more about your campaign as they go to decide to vote today?
You can go to Marie for Williamson County 11.com.
Marie for WilliamsonCounty11.com. Marie, I appreciate you taking the time to call in. Anybody else that's running for office today, I'm going to give you the floor, okay? Local elections matter. These primaries today in the state of Tennessee matter, and we want people to know who you are and what you're about. So call in. Everyone will be asked their feelings on white guys with fros. Also, this was not the only Mitch McConnell picture I got. I actually got a much better one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes. Josh texted this one in. So if you're watching on Super Talk TV, you're seeing Mitch with the fro. But this is a much more accurate depiction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just a turtle with a fro. We'll talk with Kenneth Barrett, who is running for sheriff in Rutherford County, in mere moments after the headlines with Joan Jones, which starts right now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Don't give me that look.
Good morning. It is 9:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Now, we're going to get some help with our drought over the next couple of days. Rain and thunderstorms, they'll begin later this morning, then end sometime tomorrow. Now, the threat level for tornadoes is low. We're looking at heavy rain and high winds as the worst of it. Here's Stefano.
Tonight, it's west of I-65. Linden, Waverly, Clarksville, Paris, and Hopkinsville, to name a couple of spots. An isolated strong thunderstorm that we'll need to keep an eye out for.
And then tomorrow, the area is expecting potentially severe storms, is right along and south of I-40. Still, Stefano says it's an isolated and low threat. It's raining right now in Jackson and Lexington, headed our way. Sheriff's deputies still searching for Craig Berry. He's the retired Special Forces veteran accused of shooting his wife. Police believe Berry escaped into the woods near his Stewart County home.
He was last seen near River Trace Road. A trail camera caught him wearing some form of camouflage clothing. The sheriff's office is working with the U.S. Marshals Service to find Berry. Searches will happen this week in the River Trace Road area to Highway 79 to parts of Highway 232.
Investigators say Berry has extensive training in survival tactics and may be carrying a handgun with extra ammunition. New information about the exchange of gunfire between Secret Service officers and an armed man who was near the White House yesterday.
According to the service, just after 3:30 p.m., plainclothes officers walking near 15th Street and Independence Avenue noticed a man milling about with what appeared to be a concealed gun. They called for backup. Uniformed Secret Service officers soon arriving at the scene. The suspect allegedly started running and firing. Officers returned fire, wounding the suspect, who was apprehended and transported to a local hospital. The service says the juvenile was wounded in the crossfire but sustained non-life-threatening injuries.
That's ABC's Pierre Thomas. That is the latest news. Stick around for weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Better Water LLC. If you're tired of weird smells, stains, or just plain old bad tasting water at the house or at the office, these are the people that you need to call. Think of it like a giant Brita filter for your entire house, or you can scale it down to fit right under the kitchen sink, or you can get one for your whole business, and they handle everything. You might have some nasty stuff in your water, and you don't even know it. Here's the best part. Better Water will test your water for free. And if you have stuff like sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, or even E. coli in your water, well, they'll clean it up real quick. They got a ton of options, from reverse osmosis, specialized filters, UV lights, you name it. Better Water has you covered. These guys are local, based right out in Smyrna, and they serve all of Middle Tennessee. You've probably already tasted their work, and you have no idea, because they're treating the water at the local coffee shops and even the hospitals around town. So call them today. Get your water tested. Stop drinking the junk out of your tap. 615-355-6063. That's 615-355-6063. Or you can find them online, betterwater.com. .36 minutes past the hour. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to the show anywhere. We're on all the apps. We're on the FM dial, Radio Classic. You can also watch the show. We're on Super Talk TV. That's on YouTube and Rumble. If you hit subscribe, it really does help the radio station. Even if you don't like this show, but you like other shows, it helps all of us. So hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Free to do. Joining me in studio right now, a man that's running for sheriff in Rutherford County. His name is Kenneth Barrett. We met a couple weeks ago at the Rutherford County debates that I got to host for the mayoral candidates and the sheriff candidates. It was a good night. There's a lot of great candidates. For mayor, we got Randy Allen, Joe Carr, Craig Harris. And then for sheriff, we got you, Kenneth Barrett, Trey Mansfield, Steve Spence. And listen, I think it's important to get some people out there. There's a lot of people that are complaining about representation right now, but we were talking off the air. The early voting numbers are 13,000 people have voted in Rutherford County.
Yes, sir.
So that's what, 5%?
Right at 5%, yes, sir.
So, if you're going to complain about representation, you should actually get out there and vote.
I agree. Yeah, go and voice your opinion and do your research on your candidates and make sure you make the right choice. And it's hard to complain if you don't go vote.
Amen. If you missed those debates and you do want to learn more about these guys, you can find them on my Twitter account, at Chris Hand on Air. I posted both of those yesterday. But tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started, and why do you want to be sheriff in Rutherford County?
Yes, sir. I started Rutherford County Sheriff's Department when I was 20 years old in corrections, and moved through the ranks and into patrol and worked a lot of proactive units such as narcotics, interstate interdiction, K-9, and crime suppression. Then I started moving through, and now I'm a senior lieutenant in patrol where I manage day shift patrol. Also second generation deputy. My dad started there in 1978, and which he passed away in 2005. So he's put food on my table my whole life, and it's always been a goal of mine to run for sheriff, and just never thought that it would happen. And I almost ran in 22, and we own a Silver Hill Medical Clinic. My wife runs it, and it was during the COVID, so she was extremely busy, and you got to have your wife beside you. We prayed on it and talked about it, and timing just wasn't right. So this year, everything's a lot better, and we prayed on it again, and here we are right in the middle of it. Today's the primary, and hopefully win this Republican primary today.
So explain to me what the job duties are.
Yes,
like
sir.
what does the sheriff in Rutherford County do?
The sheriff in Rutherford County upholds the law for the whole county. We run a jail, got over 1,000 inmates, about 1,050 inmates there. Warrants division, the courthouse, and the warrants and patrol division, CID, narcotics. It's approximately over 600 employees there at the sheriff's department.
Okay, so why would we vote for Kenneth Barrett over the other guys?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I've been through 3 different administrations there at the Sheriff's Department, and I've seen what works and what doesn't work. And I've been in leadership for 20 years. 20 of my 28 years I've been in leadership role, and I think it's time for a servant leader to come in and pass that on to the community and the deputies and hold people accountable and be very transparent with the community. That's one thing I think we need to work harder at, let the community know exactly what Rutherford County Sheriff's Department is doing.
You said you've seen what works and what doesn't work.
Yes,
Let's focus on the what doesn't work.
Yes,
what
sir.
have you seen during you said 20 years of doing this? 28 years of doing this that doesn't work, and how can you improve it?
I think the part that doesn't work, you really got to value your employees. You got to show your employees that you care about them, and you're being very transparent with them, and also the community. You got to listen to the community and have an open ear to the community and let them know what's taking place. And some of your best ideas will come from someone maybe from the outside that's not involved in law enforcement, maybe running a business, and they got a great idea that can help us run more smoothly, more efficiently.
When you look at the policing that's happening in Tennessee right now, are we doing a good job? What can we do better?
Yes, sir. I think we're doing a great job, especially I speak for Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. There's always room for improvement. But I think the biggest thing is COVID changed a lot with law enforcement. I think we need to get back out and be more community-oriented, stopping at functions, events, and things like that that's taking place, and just letting the community know that law enforcement is human. We're here. We're learning. We're a very young agency, so we are going to make mistakes, and we expect mistakes, but we got to work through them and hold people accountable, and let the community know we're there for them, and not just when they need us, there to listen to them and talk to them when it's not some type of critical event taking place.
I mean, a lot of times we only hear about policing when something bad is happening.
100%.
You know, like one of the bigger stories in law enforcement lately has been the sober DUI arrests.
Yes, sir.
How do you tackle an issue like that? Like, how does Rutherford County in particular handle stuff like that? Because they're not doing the breathalyzer anymore. Is that correct?
That's right, blood.
So how do we stop the sober DUIs?
The main thing is training. Always constantly train your deputies or your officers at your agency and hold them to a standard and just always be there for them and monitor what they're doing. Young deputies are, like I said, they're going to make mistakes, but that's a mistake you shouldn't make. And you get them through the training, the proper training that they need, and hold them accountable for what they're doing. And I don't believe in putting pressure on people to go out and make the rest. It's about making good decisions and treating people the way you want to be treated. And if they're not intoxicated and they're okay to drive, they should be not stopped. Yes, arrested.
Is there any quotas in the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department?
No, sir.
Do you believe in quotas?
No, sir.
Tell me why.
If you put quotas on, that's what you get. You get people going out and making bad decisions and putting numbers on the board because that's what is expected out of them. If you let them make decisions and knowing that they're treating people right, being fair to the community, you're going to have a lot better decisions being made than someone that's just trying to put numbers on the board.
So you said you're born and raised in Rutherford County?
Born and raised in Rutherford County out in the Walter Hill area, yes, sir. Still live on 4th generation property there.
Does that impact the way you approach the job?
Yes, sir, definitely. That's where I raised my girls. I have 2 daughters, and you always want your community to be as safe as possible for your family and everybody else's family there. And it definitely ties you to the community even more, just being raised there and seeing how Rutherford County has exploded over my lifetime, especially the last 10 or 15 years.
What does the challenges look like in Rutherford County over the next 5 to 10 years?
A big thing is a jail. Our jail is overloaded with inmates, and that's going to be a big expense to Rutherford County, and that's why I have to work with the county commission and the mayors to figure out exactly what we're going to have to do with the jail. And I'm not involved in those conversations right now, and hopefully this is just the beginning of it, and we'll get that rolling. And the other thing is traffic. Traffic. So many people's there. We got to get our roads up to speed to where we need to be, and that's going to be a conversation with county commission and the mayors also, and just keeping people safe. The school system, the SROs, more kids are in the schools, so we got to keep the SROs strong and put more of them in the schools to keep our kids protected.
On the jail front in particular, if it's up to you, if you were given the decision power, what kind of changes would you make? What would you do?
As far as what, sir?
Like, are you building a new jail? Are you revamping the one that we have?
If it was up to me, yes, I think we definitely need a new jail. The jail's old. They said it's sank almost a foot. So the structure is not great at this point. I think we do need a new jail. And if I had my choice, what we would do with the existing jail would be turn it into a training facility for Rutherford County, whether it be fire, EMS, police, whatever, and just hold training classes for other law enforcement to come and train there in the jail, whether it be corrections or patrol or detectives or whoever.
Do you guys have enough resources when it comes to training?
Yes, sir. We're a lot better than was 28 years ago when we started. Nowadays we get a lot of good specialized training, and that's part of it is keeping your deputies trained to where they need the most work or which direction they're wanting their career to go, is get them involved in specialized training.
Let's talk about illegal aliens and cooperation with ICE. You see a lot of pushback, especially from Democrat politicians, on cooperation with ICE. How would the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department work with them?
Yes, sir. I definitely would support ICE. At this point, we don't have the manpower to go out and actually enforce and look for illegal aliens there, but if they ask for our assistance, we'd definitely give it to them. And if they're brought in for a charge booked into our sheriff's office, they will be ran through the system. And if the detainers put on them, we will hold them and have them deported.
Easy enough.
Yes, I would cooperate fully.
Easy enough. What do you think about the homeless situation in Rutherford County? Because, I mean, I moved to Rutherford County in 2017, and since then it seems like it's doubled or quadrupled. Right. And, you know, we have young kids, and, you know, my wife will be out at Old Fort Park in Murfreesboro, and she's there at 8:30 in the morning. She says, look like a scene of The Walking Dead with the homeless coming out of the woods. What can be done about the homeless population in Rutherford County?
The majority of the homeless population is inside of Murfreesboro city limits. So MPD, Murfreesboro Police Department, takes care of most of that. And they do have a unit assigned just for the homeless. Rutherford County, yes, that is our jurisdiction also, but they're the ones that patrol it. So they deal with that more than we do. But I've met with Journey Homes and a lot of the nonprofits there in Rutherford County. And one thing I want to strengthen with the sheriff's office is take the nonprofits, and when the inmates are being released from jail back into the community, have these nonprofits help out, the volunteers, whether to contact them and see what they need to help with and get them jobs and get them lined up where they'll be more productive in our community. And hopefully that'll knock down on the homeless, just getting them in the area they need to be where they can get the assistance they need.
You mentioned, that's Murfreesboro Police Department. What does cooperation look like between the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and these other local police departments, whether it's Murfreesboro or Smyrna? How do you cooperate with them? What does that kind of work look like?
Yes, we always cooperate well with the Highway Patrol, Murfreesboro, all the agencies there in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. I think we can definitely get stronger, and it's all about communication. Communication is key to everything, and that would be my goal, is to meet with the chiefs of the other agencies monthly to sit down and discuss what we can do better to make us stronger and get our officers working together, and maybe more joint efforts as far as traffic control and things like that. Just let them get to know each other and have fun together.
We're talking with Kenneth Barrett. He is running for sheriff of Rutherford County. Early voting's been going on. You mentioned 13,000 people have voted for so far. That's 5% of the county, just 5%, which is, it feels really, really low. Yes, why is it important for people to get out and cast their ballot today?
Today, you get out and cast your vote and choose who you want, do your research, And I would love to see a big turnout. I think it's very important on your local elections that we're the ones making decisions and listening to the community to what they need and what they want. And if you don't go vote and voice your opinion, it's hard to make those complain about it. So please come out and vote.
What's like the biggest victory from your 28 years in law enforcement that you can point to, and it's something that you are just like, that's the one that I'm really proud of?
I would have to say right now, running for sheriff. That's been my ultimate goal my whole career. I've always treated people like I want to be treated, and I've always put myself in a position to think like, okay, this decision is going to be made. If I was a sheriff, what decision would I want to be made? And so that's a way I've always handled myself and as a deputy and moving up through the ranks at this point. So I think running for sheriff is the ultimate, and hopefully we win and just make Rutherford County Sheriff's Department the best agency in the state and make people want to come work for us. I be proud to work, and I want the community to be proud of the sheriff's office and what we're giving them.
You triggered me with a question here when you said you want people to come work for you. What does the pay look like for the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, and how tough is it for you to hang on and retain officers? Is this a battle that you guys deal with internally because there are, better policing jobs? Do you find that people are using your department as a stepping stone to the next job? And if so, how do you retain good officers?
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, that's one of my first goals is to start working on retaining. You got to build a good, strong professional culture, positive culture for you guys. Start building morale up. And the way you do that, you value your employees. You value them, you take care of them, and you take care of the community and keep the community informed of what's taking place. Murfreesboro makes more money than us, Smyrna, Highway Patrol. The people we're competing with, it's approximately $10,000 more. And then as you move through the ranks and stay longer, that goes up. And nowadays, everybody, when they start thinking about getting in law enforcement, first thing they do, they Google any agency they're willing to go to work for, and that's the first thing they look at is how much they make. And it's hard to be attractive when you're approximately $10,000 behind other agencies. We have the best employees around, and it's really, really hard to keep and retain those guys and not lose them over $10,000 or $15,000 over a couple years experience. And that 1 to 3 year officer, yes, that's when we are training them. We're teaching them how to make great decisions. Then they see they can go make more money elsewhere, and they'll go to those other agencies. We've seen it for years, and it's all goes back into communication with the county commission and the mayors. Murfreesboro Mayor McFarland's done a great job in Murfreesboro. He really values any employee in Rutherford County, and I look up to him for that. I spoke to him the other night, and I told him that that's one thing that he does and the city council does is values their employees. And we got to move to that point. If we're going to be the best agency in the state, we got to start acting like the best agency in the state.
Is that the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome if you become sheriff? Is it retaining those officers? Is it the pay, or is it something else?
It's pay, it's the culture, it's morale, but number one, it is the pay, and it's just valuing them and treating the guys right and making sure they're being protected. As being a cop in Rutherford County is hard. So
well,
you got to be
sure. Like you never. I mean, every day, like you could have 100 great interactions, but it's like that one that you have to worry about where you might not be coming home. And I think it, like, at least for me, I'd be like, well, okay, if I'm putting my life on the line, which you guys are every single day, $10,000 makes a difference.
It's huge. Trying to live in Rutherford County is very expensive, and here we are. A lot of times we'll back up Murfreesboro, back up the Highway Patrol or Smyrna, knowing you're standing on a traffic stop or a domestic or whatever the call is, knowing the guy standing beside you could have less experience making more money than you are. So we got to get there. And I know we're spending a lot of money on different things, but it's all going to come down to communication and putting our heads together, figuring out how we can get the money we need to be comparable to these other agencies where we can start retaining more and start building that culture. People are willing to work for a little less money if the culture's good, but $10,000 or $15,000 is a lot.
Is there a high turnover rate in the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office because of that?
Yes, it is. It's I think we trained 80 deputies in 2025. Yes, sir.
Wow,
that's certified deputies.
And how many of those 80 will be here in 10 years?
It's hard to say. At this point here, it's a huge turnover, and, a lot of them don't even make it through training. They'll decide, hey, they'll go to a bad call and say, hey, this is not for me, or they're just, they're they're not meeting the qualifications that they need to. So it's hard to say how many of those 80 that still be with us. And hopefully when September we take office, we can start building that culture and start fighting for the guys, and hopefully we can get them to stay around.
You know, we saw nationally a trend of lowering the standards when it comes to qualifications to get more people in the door, whether it was law enforcement or military. And I feel like a lot of that trend has been pushed back on. Is that something that you're willing to do as sheriff when you're bringing in new deputies?
Definitely. You got to set a standard and expectations and have performance evaluations. And that's where you let your employees know, your deputies know what's expected out of them, what the standard is, and you hold them to it. You hold them accountable. And law enforcement, military, like you're saying, that's what we look for. We look for somebody to hold us to that standard. We want to be the best. And you just got to put it out there, let them know what the sheriff's office wants, and just hold them accountable for what they're doing.
Kenneth Barrett is running for sheriff in Rutherford County. We got about 45 seconds left. Give me your last-minute pitch on why we should vote for you today in Rutherford County.
Yes, sir. I've had a long, hard run. I started my campaign in January of 2025. I didn't sit back and wait to see who else was going to run, who was going to put their name in it. Me and my wife prayed on it, my family. We decided we were going to run for sheriff, and that's always been my goal. And we've been extremely busy. We've been out in the community. I've been in the sheriff's department 28 years. Like I said, 20 of those years in the leadership role. It's been a great career, and I would love to get in to make the agency the best in the state. And if you go out today and cast your vote, I hope you pick Kenneth Barrett for sheriff, and I appreciate your vote.
Hey, well, we appreciate your time. That's Kenneth Barrett running for Rutherford County Sheriff. Primaries today, guys. Only 13,000 people have voted. That's 5%. A lot of people are making the argument about representation. Well, you gotta put in the work as well. So get out there and vote. We appreciate you doing so. If anybody else is running for any office today, there's a lot of primaries going across the state. 615-737-9986. Up to it, including Kenneth's opponents. You guys are more than welcome to call in. We appreciate the conversation, and we appreciate the more voices that we can get in this fight for Tennessee. In the meantime, I got to tell you about my friends at USS. When you start noticing cracks in your walls, uneven floors, or a driveway that's starting to sink, it's not just a home issue, it's a peace of mind issue. And who you trust to fix matters. That's why I recommend United Structural Systems. They've been doing this the right way since 1994 right here in Tennessee. No scare tactics, no quick fixes, just real inspections, honest answers, and solutions that are built to last. So whether it's foundation repair or crawl space issues or concrete leveling for your driveway or your patio, USS is going to use engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not temporary patches. And here's what stands out. If you don't need the work, well, they just tell you that. You don't need the work. And if you do, they'll show you exactly why before anything starts. Right now, they're also offering 24 months, no interest financing, but only through the end of June. So don't wait, because it could cost you a little bit more. Visit USSTN.com or call 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, USSTN.com.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Got an update from the Pentagon from War Secretary Pete Hegseth about what's happening with the strategy behind helping commercial ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
What we're demonstrating with Project Freedom is they don't control the strait. I mean, we know Iran is embarrassed by the fact that our blockade is holding, and we can run ships through, and we're going to help the world run ships through. And if they hold it at issue, the whole world knows who's doing it. It's not us. We're willing to open it up. It's Iran, and that creates a dilemma for them. We hope they make a deal.
Hegseth also says the ceasefire is not over despite Iran's continued attacks on commercial shipping vessels. The Nashville man accused of killing a Belmont University student has pleaded guilty and has been sentenced to a long prison term.
Mr. Taylor's plea to second-degree murder, which is a Class A felony, that he received a sentence of 35 years in the Department of Correction.
That's during his court appearance yesterday. Shaquille Taylor received in total 38 years behind bars after pleading guilty to the murder of Julian Ludwig. Her parents say that sentence was not long enough. A couple of high school students in Coffee County have been taken into custody, charged with making a threat to their school on a Facebook post. These are ninth graders. The Coffee County Sheriff's Department says there is no ongoing threat. Tennesseans are headed to their polling places today for the primary election. Remember to bring along your photo ID. You'll need it to vote. You can use a Tennessee driver's license, retired or active military ID, the Tennessee Department of Safety photo ID, or a U.S. passport. In Indiana, it's a test of President Trump's power as he tries to dislodge state senators who refused to withdraw congressional maps earlier this year. The president has endorsed challengers to 7 of the 21 Republican senators who voted against the maneuver. California is taking some legal action against State Farm Insurance Company for its legal handling of claims from last year's devastating wildfires.
Among the alleged violations, slow and inadequate investigations, unreasonably low settlement offers, and inadequate communication with customers. State Farm denies the accusations, saying it handled nearly 14,000 claims from the fires and has paid out more than $5.7 billion.
And CBC's Sophie Flay. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to the show on all the apps, the FM dial. You can also watch us on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate you doing that. So I was during the commercial break, I always scroll Twitter. This is what I do, just to see if anything's breaking, if anything's going on. And I saw J.D. Vance is in Ohio, casting his vote in their primaries today.
Oh, heck yeah.
We also have a lot of primaries going on today here in the state of Tennessee. We had Rutherford County Sheriff candidate Kenneth Barrett in here moments ago talking about why you should vote for him. And we got a lot of people on the line that want to weigh in, that are running for office and asking for your vote. Let's start with Williamson County, and our friend Mary Smith is on the line. Mary, how are you?
I'm doing great, Chris. How are you doing?
I am good. Tell me what office you're running for and why people should vote for Mary Smith.
Well, I am running for Williamson County Mayor, and I would say that you need to vote for Mary Smith because we need leadership that's ready on day one. I've been in the county commission for 4 years. I've got the experience and the know-how to be the best steward we can with our finances, with our rural identity, and with our people.
Where are you from, Mary, and why are you ready for this job?
I'm originally from Missouri, but my husband and I moved to Tennessee, to Williamson County in 2000. We were that young family that wanted to lay down our roots here in Williamson County, and I feel like we have firsthand enjoyed all the benefits that Williamson County has to offer, and I just want to make sure we preserve and protect it for future generations.
What's voter turnout looking like in Williamson County today?
Right now, it's better than it has been. So we're already about 8%, which is what we had total in 2022. So even though it's low, we're expecting double what we had. So I think that's a good sign.
How do you feel you're stacking up against the competition? Do you feel like you're on a good pace to win this thing? Are you nervous? Tell me the vibe on the ground.
I feel great. I just feel like, I would tell anybody, I'm like, listen, the results are in God's hands, but I feel like I've been led on this path, and it has been one of the most rewarding things to go through this race and just meet the great people in this county. And just, we're so blessed. We're absolutely so blessed. So I feel really great, and I feel like, the people in Williamson County, they're smart. They're going to get out. They're going to vote for people based on qualifications, and I think that's the best you can hope for.
Real quick, about a minute left. What sets you apart from the other candidates?
I would basically say that my qualifications, I worked for Nissan for the last 8 years. I have an MBA in leadership and ethics, but I'm a real strategic thinker, so I'm very disciplined with my approach. I also, being in a corporate world like that, you learn discipline. You learn to be strategic, and you also have a vision. You have a vision for what the long term looks like. I'm also a very data-driven person, so my day job is all around technology, and technology it's coming. We better embrace it, and we better learn how to use it to benefit us. Mary,
where can we find out more about you and your campaign?
VoteMarySmith.com. Really super easy. And just remember one thing, Smith on the 5th.
VoteMarySmith.com. Mary, I appreciate you taking some time to call in, and we wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Now we're going to go to another county mayor candidate. His name is Craig Harris. He is running in Rutherford County. I had the pleasure of meeting Craig at the Rutherford County mayoral debates. Craig, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Good, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. Tell me a little bit about how your day's going and what you stand for and what you'd bring to Rutherford County.
Well, I mean, me and you met at the debate, and you know that I'm running on as a businessman and CEO for 30 years, and I've been a county commissioner for 8. So I have worked on the budget here, which is $900 million. And, as far as being experienced in running local government here, I mean, my record speaks for itself.
Well, tell me a little bit about the record, and tell us about the record for those that don't know about you, Mr. Harris.
Well, we balanced our budgets. Also we got a AAA rating, and what that means is it's a rating, a credit rating, which means we're very financial stable. So when we're having to borrow $150 million for these high schools that are coming up, it saves us almost 3 points, 3%, which saves us millions. And I brought in revenues. We brought in, school facilities tax, which is a square foot tax on builders and developers. And that brings in close to $7 million. And I have negotiated some deals that have not been dealt with over 40 years, and it's bringing in around $1 million. So I'm very proud of that, but I'm more proud of what I've done in the opioid epidemic. I ran on that issue, Chris, and when I started here, nobody really talked about it. And I started a task force, and we have been working on it. In 2021, we had 140 deaths. And with our programs, with the proceeds coming from the pharmaceutical lawsuits, we've given out $2.4 million. And in 2025, we had 65 deaths. That's over a 50% drop.
What does property taxes in Rutherford County look like under a Mayor Craig Harris over the next few years?
Well, we got to stop emotional building. We had a huge tax increase on the mayor's first year, and then we spent a lot of money. So one of the things that I'm concerned with is we got to build a jail. Our jail is absolutely in horrible condition, and you're looking at $400 million there, and then we have a high school we're going to have to build, which is $150 million. So if I don't bring in revenue, which is what I'm known for, property tax, that's a situation we'll have to look at.
How do you bring in revenue without raising property taxes?
Well, one of the things I'm looking at, I've been working on for about 4 years, is a real estate transfer fee. And what this is just every time we make a real estate transaction, the state charges a fee, and we're simply just trying to get a bigger portion of that. So it's being in Congress and in the House and state right now, and Pat Marsh is doing the House sponsorship, and Jack Johnson, our Senate Majority Leader, he's doing the sponsorship in the Senate. But we got to get it funded, Chris, and that's the hard part right now.
Does that real estate transfer fee just get passed on to the citizens of Rutherford County?
No, absolutely not. It doesn't go up. It's not a tax. It's just the state takes the full portion of it, gives us 2% for administration, and we're asking for that to go up to 28, 29%.
All right, 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. Why should we vote for Craig Harris for Rutherford County Mayor?
Well, like I said, it's proven leadership, Chris, and I have been doing this for 8 years, and I have a vision, and I want to see our county prosper. We have got to work on this infrastructure with the income. With the heck, I can't say it now. Bringing in other revenue and stuff. It's got to keep our taxes down, but we got to do something about infrastructure, man. Like you said, it's rough here in traffic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Where can we learn more about you and your campaign as we make our decision today, Mr. Harris?
Hey, CraigHarrisTennessee.com.
Harris.
Let's go, Chris. We got this.
CraigHarrisTennessee.com. Thank you, Mr. Harris, for calling in, and good luck today. So we also have Trey Mansfield on the line. He's running for sheriff in Rutherford County. I'm going to give Mr. Mansfield a little bit more time than the other candidates because we had Kenneth in here for an extended interview, and I wanted to be as fair as humanly possible. So welcome to the show, Mr. Mansfield. How are you?
Good, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. Tell me about why you're running for sheriff in Rutherford County.
I feel like I can make a positive change. I've got a different outlook, a different vision. I've got a lot of experience, a lot of practical experience, 34 years total. I care about my community, and I feel like that the citizens of this community deserve a better product of public safety. I think I can bring that to the table with.
When you say that you feel like you can make a change, what are we changing exactly?
Well, we're changing basically the mindset of, that's the way we've always done it. There's always a better way. You just got to be willing to listen to people with some ideas. And a lot of the times that comes from people with experience that are not necessarily up in administration. Some of the best ideas I've ever heard it comes from the boots on the street, the ground level people. And usually those ideas never get implemented because of one reason or another. But yeah, I believe I bring a very fresh view, a fresh look. I'm with the Burnsboro Police Department now. We're a very progressive department. Use technology in our everyday. The license plate readers, the real-time crime data analysts. We do a lot with technology, and I think I could bring some of those ideas to the sheriff's department and like I said, just make things safer for our community.
We're on the line with Trey Mansfield. He's running for sheriff in Rutherford County. Let's back up a little bit. Tell me about your background and your experience and why you would make a good sheriff.
Yeah, well, I've got 34 years. I've got 34 years of experience. Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. I'm on the phone. Sorry, I've got people walking up to me.
No, you're good.
I've got 34 years of experience. I'm out of the poll right now. That's why I've got 34 years of experience total. I've worked in 5 different jurisdictions. The longest was Murfreesboro Police Department. I've been here for a little over 27. I'm a conservative Republican. We need change in Rutherford County. I feel like that I've been exposed to a lot of good practices at the Murfreesboro Police Department. A lot of good policies has been implemented. I've seen some things that we could have done different, and I feel like that I could come to the Sheriff's Department and bring those with me, and I think I could make the citizens of Rutherford County very happy with my leadership ability.
When you look at the challenges of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department, which are the most glaring in your eyes, and what would you tackle first?
The most glaring would probably be the recruitment and retention. And in order to tackle that, what you got to do is you got to focus on getting their salaries up to a competitive level. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office right now makes significantly less than most every surrounding agency in Middle Tennessee, and that's what you've got to do. And you got to get the pay up to where it's competitive, where you're not basically training officers to leave and go to better paying departments. You got to strengthen the culture there. It's a good department, good people work there. They got a lot of good talent over there. I just think they need to be compensated better and valued more, in my opinion.
If you can't get the pay up, how do you increase retention anyway?
If you can't get the pay up, how do you increase retention? You increase retention by treating people like people. A lot of agencies want their officers to be robotic, and they forget about the human aspect. That's a human being out there wearing a badge and carrying a gun every day and protecting your community. And you got to be compassionate, and you got to be understanding. You also got to be stern. You got to set some strong rules and regulations down. Lead by example and expect everybody to follow your lead. But you can do that with compassion, and you can care about your employee and your fellow officer.
What does cooperation with ICE look like under a Trey Mansfield sheriff run? And what does the issue of the homeless look like? I know it's kind of a two-part question. Let's start with illegal immigration.
Well, legal immigration, well, I would cooperate fully with ICE to the best of my ability based on the manpower issue they've got there at the sheriff's office. There's what 287G program they've got currently in place has been in place since 1997. It's basically what I call the intake model. I'll explain a little bit about that. If you get arrested out on the street by a deputy for an unrelated charge, let's say it's driving on revoked, and you get brought to the jail and you're booked in, during the booking process, you're put into a database, and if ICE issues a detainer, then you hold those individuals for ICE, and ICE comes and picks them up and deports them. At this point in the game, I don't think, with the manpower issue, I don't think you've got the ability to implement the task force model. But as sheriff, you first and foremost, your responsibility is to protect your community. And I would do everything in my power if we had an immigration problem that reached that level. If I needed to implement a task force model, I would down the road. But right now, what they've got in place works very well for our community, and there's no need to change it at this point.
We're talking with Trey Mansfield. He's running for sheriff in Rutherford County. I've heard that only about 5% of Rutherford County has voted today. How do you feel that you're doing out there? Oh, and also let's backtrack a little bit before we get to that. I'm sorry. Second question was on the homelessness in Rutherford County. How do you deal with that as the sheriff?
The homeless issue. We've got multiple agencies here in Rutherford County, like the Coal Patrol. We've got the Journey Home, Salvation Army. We work very well in Murfreesboro Police Department with those agencies, and I would extend my hand out to them to strengthen partnerships with those entities to give my deputies and the citizens of our county that's homeless more resources to address their issues.
What does cooperation look like between the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and Murfreesboro PD or Smyrna PD with you in this leadership position?
It would be an increased. My partnership would be increased. I think that's one of the biggest issues right now. Of course, I've talked to a lot of the department heads throughout this year of different departments, and one of the main complaints is, hey, you know, we don't have as good of relationship with the sheriff's department as we would like to have. And one of my biggest goals would be to strengthen relationships within our county, the law enforcement agencies within our county, to where we could actually, you know, sit down at a table and get some things done and not be the only holdout. Case in point, you know, they've got a unified 911 option on the table right now that everybody's opted into. Rutherford County EMS, Rutherford County Fire, Smyrna, Laverne, Murfreesboro, everybody wants to opt into this study, and the only holdouts would be the sheriff's office. I think I would 100% attach myself to that study if I was sheriff.
How do you feel about the jail in Rutherford County, and what kind of moves would you want to make on that?
Well, the bottom line is we need a new jail. I mean, the jail is 37, 40 years old, somewhere around there, and it's, from what I've seen and some of the data that I've seen on the jail, it desperately needs. We need a new jail. We can't do a renovation, not on that piece of property at this point. So yeah, moving forward, we've got to start over. We've got to start fresh. We've got to pick a good plot of land, a good footprint, and we've got to build from scratch, and we've got to do it right. And if we do it right, I think it could probably last us 60 years versus 37.
Trey Mansfield running for Rutherford County Sheriff. Last minute pitch. Why should we be voting for you today?
Because I'm the only one. I'm the only candidate that's on the ballot right now that is not currently working for the sheriff's department. For the last 50 years, every sheriff that's been elected has come from the sheriff's department. I think it is time for a change. I think it's time for a new vision, a new direction. I think the citizens of Rutherford County is ready for that. They deserve it, and I think I'm that candidate. And I'd appreciate everybody's vote today. I do my very best for everybody in this county to be the best sheriff that you've ever seen.
Well, Mr. Mansfield, excuse me. I appreciate the time, and thank you for calling in, and we wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you, Chris. Y'all have a good day.
You too, sir. God bless. 1024 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I did get a text during that 8695 said, just voted in Rutherford County. Only one person in the gym. Only one other person in the gym. That's crazy. If you got some time today on your lunch break, you're in Rutherford County, Williamson County, Sumner County, all these primaries are going on. Make sure and get out and vote. These local elections, your vote is so much more weighted because people just don't take part for whatever reason. But you can really affect change in your community today. Wherever you're voting, whoever you're voting for, your vote is going to hold some weight. So get out there and vote. It's 1025. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Glock Store. I need you to circle this date on your calendar. Saturday, May 30th. I got a favor to ask you about that in a second, but just hold off on that. It's almost time for the 6th annual Nashville Open House. Always a great time. Always lots to do. Always a lot to win. And again, this is happening on Saturday, May 30th. Last year, they went full double down on the raffle and gave away over $25,000 worth of gear, including 3 Glocks in one day, in 4 hours, twice as much as the year before. That's a lot of raffling. I mean, if you're keeping score at home, that's a lot. Well, the vendors are so excited about this year's event that it seems like the Glock Store is about to double down again. They currently have over $50,000 of great gear to give away in one day, in 4 hours. From Red Dot Optics to Radian Ramjets, if it's the latest, if it's the greatest, they're giving it away on May 30th. So what's that favor? Just show up at the open house and win something. I mean, it's easy enough, and the earlier you come, the less raffle tickets will be in the bucket, which means you have better chances of winning and winning early. Glock Store's 6th annual open house, May 30th, 10 to 2, minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Myself, Dan Mandis, Matt Murphy will all be in attendance, and we want to see you there on May 30th. Glockstore.com. (1029) Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. We got a lot of primaries happening in the state of Tennessee today. If you are a local candidate running for an office, call into the show. We'll give you a minute or two. You can make your pitch, and we'll hear from you, and you can make your case to the people. 615-737-9986. Our friend Michael in Sumner County is running for a judge. Michael, welcome to the show. What's your last name, sir?
Begley.
Michael Bedley.
Ed Begley, yes.
So tell me about why you want to be a judge in Sumner County.
Well, I already am a judge. I do it with Secretary of State Trey Hoggard. I've been doing that for 12 years. The thing with the county is I grew up here. Born and raised, played baseball at Moss Wright Park and Good Looks for Little League. Grew up all over the county. Coach my boys, go to church, just live and love our community.
I love it. I'm a sucker for Little League. I'm already in. I can't vote in Sumner County, but tell me a little bit more. I mean, a lot of the news that we get about judges is really negative. You hear a lot about activist judges. What are you putting first when you're behind the bench? Is it the politics or is it the Constitution?
It is absolutely 100 million % the Constitution. And, I pass out, we've knocked on thousands of doors in this campaign. And on my cards, you will see follow the law, defend the Constitution, hold criminals accountable, not legislate from the bench. Unfortunately, as you know, especially when we see certain states and parts of our country, and some in our state, judges will legislate from the bench, and that's not the job. This is, 8th grade civics, right? We have separation of powers. We all do our jobs, and we serve our communities along the way. So that's the goal.
No, that's key. Michael, what was your last name one more time?
It's Begley, and I'm sorry, it is so very windy. I might get blown blown to Kansas.
No, you're okay. Michael Begley is running for a judge in Sumner County. 30 seconds left, sir. Why should we vote for you?
Well, as I stated, this is a brand new position in our county. It's the very first time that anyone that lives in Sumner County is going to get to choose who they want their judge to be. And again, I have a great deal of experience, but also a county judge is a judge in the county, someone that knows the community, loves the community, and cares about the community. And that's who I am, and that's what I hope to be able to do here.
Where can we learn more about you and your campaign?
It's BegleyForJudge.com. Pretty simple. Also on Facebook and everything. Happy to talk to anybody. You can reach out on the website, and I will call you.
BegleyForJudge.com. Well, thank you for calling into the show today, sir, and we wish you the best of luck in your election today.
Well, thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too. 1031 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We are going to get a little help with our drought over the next couple of days. Rain and thunderstorms that'll begin later this morning. They'll end sometime tomorrow. Now, the threat level for tornadoes is low. We're looking at heavy rain and high winds as the worst of it. Here's Stefano DiPietro.
Tonight, it's west of I-65. Linden, Waverly, Clarksville, Paris, and Hopkinsville, to name a couple of spots. An isolated strong thunderstorm that we'll need to keep an eye out for.
Then tomorrow, he says the area is expecting potentially severe storms is right along and south of I-40. Still, Stefano says it is an isolated and low threat. It's raining now in Jackson and Lexington, headed our way. Sheriff's deputies still searching for Craig Berry. He's the retired Special Forces veteran accused of shooting his wife. Police believe that Berry escaped into the woods near his Stewart County home.
He was last seen near River Trace Road. A trail camera caught him wearing some form of camouflage clothing. The sheriff's office is working with the U.S. Marshals Service to find Berry. Searches will happen this week in the River Trace Road area to Highway 79 to parts of Highway 232.
Channel 4's Marius Payton there. Investigators say Berry has extensive training in survival tactics and may be carrying a handgun with extra ammunition. New information about the exchange of gunfire between Secret Service officers and an armed man who was near the White House yesterday.
According to the service, just after 3:30 p.m., plainclothes officers walking near 15th Street and Independence Avenue noticed a man milling about with what appeared to be a concealed gun. They called for backup. Uniformed Secret Service officers soon arriving at the scene. The suspect allegedly started running and firing. Officers returned fire, wounding the suspect, who was apprehended and transported to a local hospital. The service says the juvenile was wounded in the crossfire but sustained non-life-threatening injuries.
That's ABC's Pierre Thomas. That's the latest news. Stick around for weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Legendary coach Lou Holtz once said, before people spend money, they ask three questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? Hey friends, Aaron Stokes here, owner of Eurofix. We've built our business on answering those three questions and a bold yes. Here's my version of how. Back in 1999, it was just me in a one-car garage in downtown Franklin. A few months later, I moved to a shop and in a barn behind my house so I could stay close to my family while building my dream of offering the best service on European vehicles at below dealer pricing. Fast forward to today, that barn's long gone and Eurofix is thriving with 5 locations: Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. And we're not done growing. We back all of our work with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty, plus a rental car available with every appointment. So go ahead, ask yourself, can you trust us? Do we care? Are we committed to excellence? And I think you'll say yes when you see how we treat you. Call or book today at myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com.
All right, so anyway, Canada.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. But don't engage unless absolutely necessary.
Is that so? Don't take matters into your own hands? Bro, they're in my living room.
We urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive, and be the best witness possible.
Oh, be the best witness possible as your wife is being beaten by home invaders. You're being tied up. Just call Lee, chip in, and be a great witness. You know, Superman, and then, you know, you got Bizarro. In Florida, they're like, we're going to shoot you stone cold dead. This is Bizarro, Florida. Is that what Ontario is?
It's close enough.
For 5 years. Thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that needs them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices, and no one is battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet is going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. To get started, visit Xfinity.com or drop into an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
This is the Chris Hand Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
38 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Mason and I were talking about this off the air. I love the local candidates calling in, man. It's awesome. I think it actually gives you a lot of hope because there's no shortage of good people in Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're going to keep doing that. There's primaries going on in just about every county, and if you're running for mayor, you're running for county commission, you're running for judge, you're running for sheriff, you're welcome to call in and make your elevator pitch to the people, because as we all know, it's a voter turnout game, and voter turnout is low. So, I mean, you might win an election by 10 votes. You might. You might lose an election by 10 votes.
Yeah.
And we have a flamethrower radio station. I want to give you guys the opportunity to make your case to the people of Tennessee. So 615-737-9986 if you're a local official looking to win something. Call in. Let's talk about it. Randy Allen is in Rutherford County. He's running for mayor. Mr. Allen, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Chris. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. We got to meet a couple weeks back at the Rutherford County mayoral debates, where I thought you did a good job. If anybody missed those debates, you can find them on my Twitter account at Chris Hand on Air. It's a little bit more in depth than what we'll get to here. But tell me why you want to be mayor, Mr. Allen.
Well, Chris, as I mentioned the other night at the debate, which you did an excellent job of moderating that, and everything that I am about comes from our community, from being out, talking to people, being out on the streets, listening to their concerns. And so, one of the hot topics around Rutherford County is the property tax increases. Yep. And people are concerned that will continue. And I'll just tell you, man, we don't have a revenue problem. We've got a spending problem. And so my administration is going to work hard to doge the budget. We're going to figure out a way to reduce our spending and provide better service to our community. I've got a history of doing that. As I mentioned that night, people in this community know me, they trust my word, and if I say it, they know it will get done. I'm not connected to special interest. I'm a big no on expanding our local landfill, which is taking the trash from 36 surrounding counties. My big thing that I'm really supporting is public safety in our community because we're losing trained officers, EMS, because of the wages and their compensation. We got to retain those. I want to bring better jobs to Rutherford County. That'll expand our tax base. That'll cut down on our traffic issue. That will keep people who live here working here, and that's important to me. Managing our growth. I know we can't go back, but we can manage it going forward. But I bring transformational leadership, professionalism, and unmatched integrity to this job. And if you want to know what I'm really, it's the same thing I said that night. There will be no political games. There will be no bullying. There will be no drama. And we will put an end to the good old boy system in Rutherford County. So I just mark my words. That's
you've hit some of the major points. How do we fix the landfill issue, and how do we stop taking the trash from, as you put it, 36 counties around Tennessee?
Oh, one of the things that we have to do is a better job of focus on recycling, diversion. There are a lot of technology, things that we didn't have 20 years ago that can convert waste to fuel. In addition to that, there's a program that the Tennessee State Legislature has been working on to turn waste to jobs, where we actually encourage manufacturing or businesses that are end users of waste products, like aluminum is an easy one, some plastics, things like that, so that they can find those resources here rather than outsource them from another country. So
we had a couple sheriff's candidates on earlier in the show, Kenneth Barrett, Trey Mansfield in Rutherford County, both of them outlining that the biggest issue that they face in retention is the fact that our sheriffs, the deputies there are getting $10,000 to $15,000 less than similar agencies, whether it's highway patrol, local police departments. Are you going to be able to get the raise to the sheriff's department that they need?
So I'm going to be the biggest advocate for that, because I don't know if they touched on this. I didn't hear their interview, but one of the things that I think is very eye-opening and somewhat alarming is that we invest $100,000 into an officer over the year while they're getting their training, their gear, and then we lose them for $15,000 to another municipality or county in our area. I mean, that just doesn't even make good business sense.
No, it seems like a waste of resources, sir.
It sure does. Yes, sir.
Where can we learn more about you and your campaign, Mr. Allen?
So randyallenmayor.com has lots of videos and information about my campaign. And today, right this minute, Chris, we have volunteers at a majority of the voting poll sites across the county, so you can get information there. But I do want to say, kind of touch on what you said earlier, as of this morning, there are over 200,000 registered voters in Rutherford County that have not voted. 200,000. So even if we get a small percentage of those to turn out, we will be successful in our results tonight.
Well, hey, you're absolutely right. You know, people complain about representation, but then they don't show up when it's time to vote. That's a big issue that needs to get fixed. Randy Allen, running for mayor. Thank you for the time, sir.
You too, Chris. Have a great day.
You too. Best of luck today. Let's go to John Edwards, who is running for county mayor in Robertson County. Mr. Edwards, welcome to the program.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, I appreciate it. Why are you running for mayor?
Well, I am one of the biggest proponents for responsible growth and farmland preservation in our Robertson County. I know you guys are probably familiar with the statistics, but, you know, Tennessee is losing 10 acres of farmland every hour. Robertson County, we've lost averaging about 1,055 acres of farmland. And most of that's going to be, you know, attributed to your residential growth and that we're seeing, you know, indicative all across our state. And part of that is, you know, based on the responsible growth element, you have to look at the cost of services for serving residential development. You know, we often hear this story of, you know, well, the rooftops brings the revenue. Well, in reality, residential development costs for every dollar of revenue, it costs about $1.15 to serve it. And so it ends up creating, here in Robertson County, it was actually $11.5 million deficit. So what actually swings that deficit to a surplus, which is what we want, that means we don't have to raise property taxes, is your agriculture and your commercial developments. So which again, I think for agriculture, for every dollar it costs 26 cents to serve it. For commercial, for every dollar it makes, it costs 22 cents to serve it. So that's where we really want to make sure the importance of growing right in the right sectors and ensuring that we can keep property taxes low for the families and hard workers of Robertson County.
Well, it seems like property tax is an issue statewide. Are you committing to not raising property taxes should you win the county mayor?
Oh, absolutely. I'm one of those ones, man. We all know government, whether it's federal or state or county or local, there's always things that we can be working on and cutting out before we raise, before we tax the property, the folks here. That's one thing I've done as mayor of Cedar Hill. I've been in this position for about 6 to 7 years now, and we have never, raised property taxes here, and we've got the lowest property tax rate in Robertson County. So that's something that I'm committed to doing, and I've got the track record to back it.
Where can we learn more about you and your campaign, Mr. Edwards?
Yes, sir. So you can. Most of my stuff is on Facebook. I'm heavily involved on there, and it's John Edwards for Robertson County Mayor, or also just John Edwards, and I'll be there in Cedar Hill. And I would love to connect to people and work on and see if we can keep Robertson County miles from ordinary.
What's the voter turnout looking like in Robertson County right now? I'm sure you have your finger on the pulse of who's turned out and who hasn't. Has there been good turnout, above average, below average?
Yeah, I mean, there's different viewpoints on it. I think for early voting, we had close to 3,000. I'm kind of planning on probably 5,000 to 6,000 maybe voters. And this one's a little bit unique in that we don't have there's in our county there's one single Democratic candidate in this primary. So that's kind of created a little bit of confusion with people going there and somebody that maybe leans Democrat and they're going there and there's nobody to vote for just because nobody chose to run. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, best of luck you today, sir. And if you're looking for more on John Edwards for Robertson County Mayor on Facebook. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. If you're running for an office, county commissioner, local judge, sheriff, mayor, you're welcome to join the show. 615-737-9986. At the same time, I mean, Tennessee is making headlines today, not just for the local elections, but because of the redistricting that is going to be happening. We got a special session that is gaveling in. What time are they gaveling in? I think it's at 2 o'clock today, 2 o'clock. So we're keeping our eyes on that, and we're going to keep you updated on any information that comes out of the special session or any breadcrumbs that drop before the special session. I got my feelers out there to all the individuals in the state legislature, see what they're thinking. I do know that some of our local politicos are very upset. One, Justin Pearson, was very, very upset when it came to the redistricting here in Tennessee. He called Donald Trump a white supremacist terrorist. That's what he said. That's what he said. I don't really like much about this guy outside of the afro. Spoiler alert, most Democrats don't like him either.
Exactly. Donald Trump is a white supremacist domestic terrorist who is seeking to destroy our democracy by any means necessary, including by usurping democracy itself and the voices of the people. And Governor Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, and Lieutenant Governor McNally have all decided to join him in this effort to destroy our democracy, to take away our voice, and to attack black people and black representation. And that's wrong.
No. You can't have black people represented without Steve Cohen representing you. An old white man, nothing says representing black people like an old white man, right? I was of the opinion that Justin Pearson would be able to run roughshod over Steve Cohen. And I bumped into some Democrats that told me that is not the case whatsoever. Not even the Democrats like this guy. It's hard to understand why. He seems like such a fun guy, like the kind of guy that you'd want to go have lunch with, right? Is that just me? Maybe it's just me. He's got a heck of a fro, though. Heck of a fro. We'll keep you updated on what's happening in the Tennessee special session. On the way, my friend Josh Tifo is going to join us. We'll keep taking calls from any local candidates that want to weigh in. We also got some stuff that we want to talk about when it comes to fraud. We'll talk about the Save America Act. Plus, a judge apologized to the would-be assassin of Donald Trump. Insanity. All that and more on the way. 10:51. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're dealing with pain, why haven't you made a call to the Wellness Institute yet? No matter what you're dealing with, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, herniated or bulging discs, maybe it's just knee pain or numbness in your arms or legs. If you're dealing with any of that, you need to know about the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You probably already know about the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You haven't made the call, but you should. Dr. Mitchell and his team are the finest in all of Tennessee and the only office in Tennessee with a brand new device called the HydroWave, which is stimulating your stem cells for real cellular healing. On top of that, they have the non-surgical spinal decompression, which is currently 47% off. And one thing that they're never going to push on you is surgery. Oh, another thing, painful injections. Oh, one more thing. Opioids. They're not a fan of any of those. You shouldn't be either. What you should be doing is talking to Dr. Mitch. These guys are using anti-gravity machines, robotic lasers, and they'll actually take the time to review your MRI, explain what's happening, and how to fix it and get you back to a pain-free life. It is possible. It's within reach. You should make the phone call today. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or find them online at painisbad.com.
Redrawing congressional maps gets underway today in Tennessee. I've got that story and much more coming up at 11 on Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's going to get spicy this afternoon. Do you feel it? It's going to be some protests.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't happy, except for all the people that are happy.
Going to be a lot of chanting.
There's going to be some chanting. There's going to be some signs. There's going to be some accusations hurled of white supremacy.
If I was a betting man, I would say one of the chants will be, "This is not what democracy looks like," even though it is exactly what democracy looks like.
It's crazy. Name me one right that anybody has lost. Do people not get to vote anymore? No. They still do? Hold on. Let me check my notes. Yeah, they still do. That's so weird. So weird. All right, we'll be covering that all day long. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. He's the best news guy in the business, and we appreciate all the work that he does. In the meantime, Cole Allen, the wannabe assassin of Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, appeared in court yesterday, and the judge, a Barack Hussein Obama-linked judge, is now facing mass calls to be removed because he apologized to the would-be assassin?
Allen back in court today, and the judge says he's not being treated well.
Oh.
Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel is in Washington with this story tonight. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. A federal judge apologized to the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump today.
Wait. Whoa. The federal judge apologized to the would-be assassin? I'm sorry you couldn't get closer. Is that what he was doing?
Brett, good evening. A federal judge apologized to the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump today for the way he's been treated by jail officials since his arrest. Magistrate Judge Zia Faraqui grilled a Washington, D.C. jail official over Cole Allen being held on suicide watch in a padded, lighted cell with no ability to make phone calls, read books, without access to religious materials or recreation time. Faraqui handled some of the January 6 cases and said about Allen, quote, "He's being treated differently than anyone I've ever observed."
Oh, weird. And you handled some January 6ers cases? So we've actually spoken with quite a few J6ers who were held in solitary for months on end and weren't given court dates and were moved around and treated unfairly. Did he apologize to them as well?
Not that I know of.
I didn't see any apologies coming from that.
Nope.
No one I've ever seen has ever been treated like this, except for the cases that you already handled.
In addition to attempted assassination, Allen also faces 2 firearms-related charges. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. The judge today noted Allen has no criminal history, stressing that he is innocent until proven guilty and therefore should be treated fairly.
He shot a Secret Service agent. He tried to kill the president. But you know what? He was also Teacher of the Month in December of 2024 in California. So he's a good boy. This is a blip on the radar, right?
Yeah, and also that judge kind of looks like a beta.
He does look like a beta.
That bow tie's crooked, weird-looking glasses.
What do you expect from a Hussein Obama appointed judge?
For real.
Beta. I can't even believe that. Like I can envision a liberal judge being soft on this guy, but to be like, I am so sorry for the way you've been treated.
Wah, wah.
Like, he tried to kill the president, dude.
Yeah.
Now do it in reverse. If it was Biden in there, and it was a white supremacist Nazi, would you also apologize if he was held in solitary confinement? Like, seriously. Such BS. This judge should be removed from the bench, or he should recuse himself, or he should be impeached. All of those options probably won't happen.
To be fair, Biden would probably do the apologizing for him.
Yeah, Biden probably would. Come on, man. It's 11 o'clock. Man. Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for some severe weather in Middle Tennessee.
Tonight, that severe threat low. It's west of I-65, Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Murray, Paris, Waverly, and Decaturville. For tomorrow, that severe threat is along and south of Interstate 40, so much more of the area needs to be on the lookout.
Right now, weather radar is showing some pretty heavy rain there in Clarksville, just to the northwest of Nashville. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tennessee lawmakers back in Nashville today for a special legislative session focused on congressional redistricting. Republican leaders have filed bills that would allow lawmakers to redraw district lines ahead of the November election, with an eye on turning the 9th district, which makes up Memphis, into a Republican majority. Democrats have introduced a map that would largely reunify Davidson County into one district. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell says he's going to run for re-election in 2027. He says his focus will be affordability, infrastructure, and keeping the city accessible for everyone. O'Connell pointed to investments in transit, housing, public safety during his first term. He says the goal of his second term is turning progress into long-term results for Nashville residents. Operation Epic Fury, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said the U.S. is locked and loaded in the Strait of Hormuz as it moves to open up the waterway.
The Pentagon calls it Project Freedom, a U.S. effort to ensure safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz.
Project Freedom is defensive in nature, focused in scope, and temporary in duration.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the effort involves U.S. destroyers, fighter jets, helicopters, drones, and surveillance aircraft, and it comes on top of the ongoing blockade of ships heading to or from Iranian ports. The Joint Chiefs Chairman says Iran has fired at U.S. forces more than 10 times since the ceasefire began last month, but he says those strikes were below the threshold of a return to major combat. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, gasoline prices keep rising. Here's Patrick DeHaan, head of Gas Buddy.
If the strait remains closed, into the month of June, I think by July 4, we'll be at all-time record highs.
Right now, he puts the average price per gallon in Middle Tennessee at $4.20. That's up 23 cents from last week. And the latest look at the U.S. employment picture shows little change from month to month. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us about the latest JOLTS report.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey was delayed by a month and found openings at 6.9 million in March, essentially unchanged from February. The number of hires picked up slightly with gains in the transportation, warehousing, and utility sectors. As for quits, about 5.5 million people left their jobs last month.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
6 minutes past the hour, 7 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen on all the apps, the FM dial. You can watch the show as well. Super Talk TV is up and running on YouTube and Rumble. My friend and yours is in studio, Josh Tifo. He is joining the show. What's up, Josh?
Living the dream. It's Tifo Tuesday on the
It's a
Chris Hand
little
Show.
Tifo Tuesday. So we've been having local candidates call in. Primary elections are going on today. We're still doing that. If any local candidates running for judge, county commissioner, mayor, sheriff wants to make your elevator pitch, you're more than welcome to. 615-737-9986. You're busy tonight. You're leaving here and going to Knoxville.
UT Knoxville tonight. There's a huge student rally. I hear there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people. The event features Riley Gaines, myself, and Senator Blackburn.
Okay. So what does that event look like?
So here's the best part. We'll each give kind of short speeches, but most of the event is going to be open Q&A. So complete, total open Q&A, whatever you want to talk about with me, Riley, and Marcia.
Interesting. I wonder if they're going to bring up medical marijuana.
Oh, I would not be surprised. We'll probably hear about Epstein, probably hear about Iran, probably hear about how AI is supposedly taking everybody's jobs. It's going to be a wild Q&A.
Well, you do a lot of the stuff with the students. Gas prices are stupid high. I mean, I think we can all agree. Is the appetite for what's going on in Iran running thin?
I mean, I'll shoot straight with you. Most young Americans are very upset that we're involved over there, and it's the president's job to do what's best for the country, whether they like it in the moment or not. But I will tell you that most young Americans who voted for Trump voted for him for a few reasons, but the biggest one was the whole America First worldview, the idea that we were going to stay out of foreign conflicts whenever possible. So there are a lot of people who are just going to be upset with him until we are out of Iran. That's the reality.
How quickly do you think we get out of there?
I would love for us to be out of there by midsummer.
Midsummer.
Yeah.
It keeps stretching. You know, you feel
it
like
does.
that?
But I mean, that's what happens when you enter these quagmires. I mean, that's what happens. This is a totally different situation than Venezuela. In Venezuela, we surgically went in, went out, knew exactly how it was almost certainly going to go. And I mean, praise God, it went very well. When you're dealing with Iran, you're dealing with arguably the thorniest international situation the West has had to deal with for 30, 40 years. It's not an in and out type of thing.
No, I will be honest. I was pretty surprised yesterday. We did a vibe check on the Iran stuff, and this audience is overwhelmingly supportive of the president and the operation over there. It had been giving me a bit of heartburn thinking about midterms down the road, but with the redistricting wars looking like they're falling in our favor, with the recent Supreme Court decision, with the redistricting special session that's taking place today in Tennessee, Florida adding 4 more seats. I mean, do you think that we lose the House majority in November? I mean, even if this was to drag on, are we in a better spot now than we were?
We're in a better spot, and also you have to think about what does it look like if it drags on a little longer than we want. Let's say that we don't get out by the summer. Let's say that we get out in September or October, as terrible as that would be, in my opinion. I mean, that's still before Election Day. So let's say that we're out when people are actually voting. They're finally experiencing a better price situation with gas, with food, with a lot of those things. There's a package that can be put together that we can bring to the American people to say, we've delivered on a lot of these promises. I understand that you're a little upset about this, you're a little upset about that. But we also need to remind voters all the ways that Trump has kept his word and all the things that he's succeeded on. We talked about the wall. We talked about stopping the flood of illegal immigrants. And then Trump fixes it almost immediately. And then we just jump to the next thing that we're going to be angry about. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold our leaders' feet to the fire on everything that they promise. But Trump has delivered on a lot of things already. That's the reason why we don't even talk about the immigration situation as much as we used to. And may we not forget, Trump promised to keep us out of forever wars, but he also promised that he would keep Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. So
since the 80s.
So those are 2 promises that he had to keep in tandem.
I think a lot more frustration should be thrown at Senate Republicans than President Trump right now. The Washington Post announced yesterday that Trump essentially would have won New Mexico if elections required citizenship, and other blue states would have been way closer races if the Save America Act was passed. New Mexico, if citizenship was required, would have been a Republican +3. Connecticut would have been down to a Democrat +4. Washington, Democrat +4. Maryland, just +8. and the red states get redder. Why aren't the Senate Republicans putting in the work and getting to the floor the Save America Act?
Because there are enough of them who are compromised that this is not a matter of urgency. And thank God for Senator Blackburn and the other patriots who have gone pretty scorched earth on this. But you look at our majority, we don't have an enormous majority. And unless you are nuking the filibuster, then you need 60. I mean, this is a tough situation that requires a lot of resolve, a lot of courage. And there just aren't a ton of U.S. senators who have a lot of resolve and who have a lot of courage. And there are exceptions. As I mentioned, my friend Marsha, I think she's doing a great job. But you need a lot of courage in order to nuke the filibuster, and that's not what we're seeing right now. The House is just, I mean, they keep passing it over and over again. But to me, the Save America Act is a barometer to whether or not the Senate even comes close to representing the American people right now. And if we do not power through the Save America Act, there's no reason why Speaker Thune should keep it. Not Speaker Thune, Leader Thune should keep his job.
I agree with that. So Marsha did say on my show that she was in favor of nuking the filibuster, but she wouldn't go as far to say that Thune hasn't been doing a good job. But I think anybody paying any bit of attention can understand that Thune is not doing a good job.
Well, at the end of the day, the buck has to stop somewhere, and the president has gone scorched earth. The House has passed it over and over again, and the Senate is not getting the job done. So who is the leader of the Senate right now? So
should have been Rick Scott.
I mean, hey, I like Rick a lot. He's an old friend. If you are the leader, and it is your job to hammer through historic legislation, and it's not happening, the buck stops at you. So we're looking at you, John Thune. Get it done. Find a way to get it done if you want to keep your job.
Well, and the Democrats will tell you that illegal aliens aren't voting, and then they'll turn around in the Los Angeles City Council. The Democrats on the city council are hoping to potentially open the door to foreigners, including illegal aliens, to vote in city elections. So they're like, it's not happening, but it'd be great if it did.
It's not happening, but it's also a key part of our strategy. Here's all you need to know. So going back into the ICE and DHS funding fight, what did the Democrats do? They went scorched earth to make sure that ICE was not allowed within like so many feet of polling places. Why on earth would they care so much? Why would they make that the hill to die on? ICE can't go near polling places. It's because illegals voting is a huge, dare I say, paramount element of the Democrat strategy to win close elections.
Well, and it's not just like they're going to win the state. It's about counties. It's a much smaller number than people will give it credit. It's not a massive amount of illegal aliens that you need to sway it. It's a few thousand.
And there's a secondary effect that we don't pay attention to. So when you have an uber red district like R+20, R+25, it's much easier to run somebody who's a red-blooded MAGA conservative like me or like you instead of running someone who's more of a milquetoast corporatist moderate.
Tom Tillis.
So,
well, he did organize a heck of a dog parade.
So, okay, I almost just did a Tom Tillis roast, but instead I'm going to stay on my train of thought. I'm keeping on the train this time. So, a lot of these R+10s where we run somebody who's decently conservative are actually R+20s. And there's a bunch of illegals voting, and we could be running somebody even more MAGA, even somebody more aggressive, and we don't understand how illegals voting is skewing that voter pool and that projected election turnout.
And you know that firsthand from your time with Turning Point Action. I mean, you guys literally went in with that focus.
I mean, we strategized 2024 guessing on the back end how many percentage points were going to be consumed by the left due to fraud. Like, we got to win this state by 3. We got to win this state by 4. How sad is it that that's what our country became? We have a real chance to fix it. The president wants it. The people want it. The House keeps ramming it through over and over again. And if the Senate doesn't find a way to get this done, then I'm telling you, even the senators who are backing this, everyone in the Senate is going to be significantly dinged in the eyes of the grassroots. Even if you're a senator who's tenaciously backing this, vocally backing this, the grassroots, they're just going to be mad at everyone in the Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just calling it the way I see it.
And I don't know how they can, explain away the fraud when we see all of the healthcare fraud, the hospice fraud going on. It's like, if you're willing to do that, if the Somalis in Minnesota are willing to defraud the Feeding Our Futures program, then why wouldn't they be willing to defraud an election? A California hospice care fraudster was just busted under Gavin Newsom. Fox reporter went directly outside the hospice and confronted them on billing $1.3 million for 109 patients that didn't exist.
About some questions of the care that you provided to individuals. Up in the Central Valley?
At the moment, I have some workers here doing some stuff.
Okay. You want us to wait outside?
Please don't go.
Okay, you want us to wait outside?
Graceful Care Hospice is located 200 miles away near Los Angeles. It enrolled a few dozen patients in 2023 and 4, but last year claims skyrocketed, with the company billing Medicare $1.3 million for 109 patients on claims submitted by their physician, Dr. Stephen Pine, an 82-year-old OBGYN.
So when you see stuff like this, it's like, why am I supposed to believe that you're not cheating in elections too?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And this brings us into a much bigger discussion. There is no reason why we should have any welfare programs in the United States of America. And I know that almost everybody's going to fight me on this. I don't care.
It's literally socialism.
There's no reason why we should have any government welfare. So I'll correct it. Government welfare programs. It actually robs one of the most powerful strengthening effects that happen in a civilization, which is families and churches and organizations and businesses stepping in to take care of those who are hurting, take care of those who are abused, take care of those who are hungry, take care of those who are needy. When it becomes institutionalized in a society that the government will take care of those who are poor, the government will take care of the people who lost their jobs, the government will take care of the people who are disabled, the government will take care of people who are sick, then you rob society of the benefits of us helping each other. Instead, we begrudgingly, unintentionally help each other through our tax dollars. And I will say there's one caveat. The government does need to take care of veterans. That's
Amen.
the one thing that it's their job to do that, because they're the ones serving our country, and many of them experiencing the effects of serving our country. So that's the one area that should still be there, and it should be the best of the best. The VA shouldn't be something that's just barely okay. The VA should be luxury healthcare to reward them for what they did for our country. But unless it's taking care of veterans, the government should get entirely out of the welfare business. You know why? They suck at it. They're terrible at it. The results are horrific. And you look at state by state, the more they bring public-private partnerships into taking care of the needy, the better the results are. That should just be all of it.
Yeah, and it seems like it's just been like a green light for fraud in a lot of these programs. And then you have Democrat politicians taking credit when accountability comes because of the anti-fraud task force with J.D. Vance. Did you see Governor Walz said this is what accountability looks like, and he's doing a victory lap? And it's like, hey, Mr. Governor, you're not running for re-election because you were exposed, and you're currently not sharing any information with the Attorney General's office. You're suing them to keep the information secret.
Look, that was a great post by the governor. Now what we need is some actions beyond just his words, because the Department of Justice has asked him to assist us in all kinds of areas to combat fraud in Minnesota. He's not helping us. He's not sharing information with us. He is suing us in court. And so, yes, it's easy for him to post something, but what we'd really like to see is action by the governor. If he truly wants to combat fraud in his state, there's a lot of things he can do to help us, and we are ready, willing, and able to work with him if he really means it.
I mean, I want to see action, but I think we would push back a little bit and say, I think I want action from the Attorney General as well. Like, where's the investigations into Ilhan Omar and her immigration fraud? Where's the investigations into Governor Walz looking the other way or telling the whistleblowers to be ashamed if somebody called you racist? Like, why does it seem like everything is moving so slow when it is so apparent to the American people what's going on and what time it is?
So I'll take you back to Doge, which seemed like it was going to be this huge success, and then nobody was really satisfied with the results at the end of the day. Doge uncovered so much fraud in every corner of the local and state and federal infrastructure that it was literally too much to handle. They uncovered so much Social Security fraud that you couldn't go out and arrest everyone because we don't have enough jails. We're not even like close to having enough jail space to actually go out and arrest the people committing Social Security fraud. It's pervasive in certain sections of the country socioeconomically. The only way that you fix the welfare fraud issue is you have to go to the root, and you have to remove almost every welfare program in the United States of America. I'm not saying that you do it all at once. I'm saying that you sunset the programs, you give private charity, you give churches, you give organizations the time to build up the resources to bless and help those people. And what an amazing opportunity that would be for the church. So I will walk you through what this looks like in 10, 15, 20 years if we don't do it. And that's European culture. So in most European countries, it's so strange when they hear that Americans just voluntarily write a $25,000 check to this charity or a $100,000 check to this charity, because they pay huge taxes and they're like, my taxes are my charity. And daddy government decides who needs the money the most. So that's not my job. That's the government's job. I mean, I pay my taxes, so I get to do whatever I want with my money. And all the blessings that come from giving, which, God even tells us. Jesus himself told us in Matthew that when we give in such a way that our left hand doesn't know what our right hand is doing, that God will supernaturally bless us. People are robbed of those blessings because we're starting to have more and more of that European culture, the idea that, why would I help that poor person over there? Why should my church even get involved? That's the government's job. I pay huge taxes. I just wrote this huge tax check 2 days ago, and that's my service to God and to the people who aren't doing so well. It actually helps break down society when the government does things that churches and individuals were meant to do.
It's crazy. We got a lot more to cover. It's 11:22. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I get so mad about welfare.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. If you need health insurance and you are counting down the days until fall because you think you have to wait for open enrollment, that is wrong. That is what the big guys want you to think. It's the biggest myth in health insurance. With Cover Nash, you can get covered right now today. No waiting, no gimmicks. You missed open enrollment, no problem. You lost your job coverage, that stinks, but Shane can help you out. And if you're sick of overpriced junk insurance, you should make a phone call today because Shane could be saving you some serious money. You see, Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand new nationwide PPO options. We're talking deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, even for specialists. These are ACA-compliant plans with free preventative care. Not that you're excited about a colonoscopy, but at least you're not paying for it. Whether you need a plan for an individual, a family, you're self-employed, you got a whole small business, this is the place to call. Stop overpaying, stop waiting, stop thinking you're stuck. CoverNash.com or call 615-465-0023, 615-465-0023, CoverNash.com.
Operation Epic Fury. We'll tell you about Project Freedom, which is an effort by the U.S. military to open up the Strait of Hormuz, maybe give us some relief at the pumps. Tennessee lawmakers back in Nashville to redraw congressional maps. All this and more coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Headlines on the way in less than 3 minutes. My name is Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Did you hear about Nick Shirley?
Yeah, I heard a rumor he went to Cuba.
He's stuck in Cuba, and he posted like a hostage video, essentially, from the only hotel in Havana with 24/7 electricity. Listen to this.
All right. Depending when this comes out, or if it does, we are currently being tailed by Cuban intelligence here in Havana, Cuba. I came here. I've been wanting to make a video for so long about life in communism and showing people what communism is like in a place like Cuba, for instance. Came here to make this video, and when people think about communism, they typically just think about how communism is supposed to make everything equal, whether it be the amount of money someone makes or how food's distributed and how the markets are then controlled by the government. However, something that people do not think about, including myself, is how in communism they do not have freedom of speech.
He's kind of learning that the hard way. So he gets there, and they immediately seized his all of his cameras, his GoPros, his Meta glasses, his microphones. They only left him with his iPhone. And he's saying that there's no cars on the road. Gas is about $10 per liter, which, like, if you game that out, I think it's what, $20 a gallon, $30 a gallon. And he's at the only hotel in Havana with 24/7 electricity. But he said he's been being followed by Cuban intelligence.
I'm surprised that they let him keep his iPhone. They're going soft. They're getting scared.
I can't. I'm shocked that he went.
I mean, I'm not. He's Nick Shirley.
He's got some stones, but
like if you got that dog in you, you got that dog in you.
But he looks nervous, man, in this video. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, I mean, you can see
they got some weird weapons over there. Like I'd be nervous too.
I'd be worried about Havana syndrome, the direct energy weapons.
Yeah.
Which are real, by the way.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff they do over there.
You're not allowed in Cuba either.
I'm not allowed. So when I started building Turning Point Florida, this was like, 11 years ago, I very quickly found that most people were not crazy enough to join a Turning Point chapter 11 years ago. Because, like, Obama was super cool. And, I mean, you were like the weird kid. Be like, okay, what are you talking about? Why do you have a card table set up? What's your poster? And I quickly found out that in South Florida, the kids who gravitated towards me almost immediately were the Cuban American kids. So the Cuban American kids basically built Turning Point Florida with me. And they invited me to this Free Cuba riot protest thing with a bunch of media. And naturally, I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Like, I hate communism, too. So I'm in it. So I'm in, like, old media photos and, like, a Free Cuba march in Miami 10, 11 years ago. And afterwards, one of the organizers looks over me and he's like, Josh, you do realize you can never visit Cuba now. Do you understand? I'm like, okay, I understand.
Yes, sir. I will never go. So as of right now, there's no word on if Nick is out of Cuba. So say a prayer for Nick Shirley. We'll be back with more in a moment. It's 11:30. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got some rain approaching Nashville from the west. It's just rain, nothing severe, but that is something we're going to have to watch later today and then again tomorrow. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Operation Epic Fury, Gas Buddy putting the average price per gallon in Middle Tennessee at $3.20 this morning. That's up 23 cents since last week. All of it having to do with the Strait of Hormuz and the lack of shipments being allowed through. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says Project Freedom, the effort to ensure safe passage of commercial ships through the strait, is underway.
CENTCOM, along with partner nations, is in active communication with hundreds of ships, shipping companies, and insurers. All of these ships from all around the world want to get out of the Iranian trap that they have been stuck inside.
So the average price per gallon nationwide could top $4.75 by Memorial Day, according to Gas Buddy, if things don't improve rapidly in the strait. Tennessee lawmakers back in Nashville today for a special legislative session to redraw congressional maps after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that Louisiana did so by relying on race only. The Supreme Court says you can't do that. So Republicans are hoping to turn Memphis red here in Tennessee, while Democrats are going to try to return Davidson County to a single district. And here in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says he's going to run for re-election, says he's going to focus more on affordability in a second term. Wilson County residents reacting to new property reappraisals showing sharp jumps in home values. Some homeowners worry that could mean higher property tax bills, like local realtor Keith Boykin, who tells News 2.
When I saw that they had my value at $897,600, I thought, well, I can't sell my house for $750 unless it's in pristine condition and I find someone dumb enough to pay that much for it.
Yeah, county leaders say taxes are based on the tax rate, which has not been set yet and is expected to drop. Property owners in Wilson County who believe their valuation is wrong have until May 29th to appeal. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Zero Res Nashville, and I'm going to speak to you as a dad. I got 4 kids. We got 2 dogs. We're in the middle of baseball season. We're tracking in a lot of red dirt. And in fact, I told the kids, I think they're going to start charging us for how much dirt we're bringing home from the ball field. So the house is a combination of the red dirt, grass stains, and then whatever the dogs tracked in 5 minutes ago. So we always call Zero Res when we need to spruce it up a bit because these guys are completely in line with the Make America Healthy Again mindset. They use their exclusive ZR water system, which will actually get everything out without harsh chemicals and leaving no soap residue behind. So the carpets don't just look insanely clean. They're going to stay clean longer. And honestly, that matters when you have 4 kids running in and out of the house all day long. Right now is a perfect time to clean your carpets. We're coming out of cold and flu season. We're getting into spring. You should spruce up the house. It feels really good to do so. 4,800 Google reviews, a 4.9 rating. I'm not the only one singing their praises. 615-535-9376, 615-535-9376, or book online, ZeroResNashville.com. They have 2- and 3-room specials going on right now, ZeroResNashville.com. It's 11:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen on all the apps, the FM dial, YouTube, and Rumble there as well. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate you doing so. I got Josh Tifo in studio. Big day, local elections, primaries going on. You think local elections matter, I would imagine.
Well, they matter a ton, and it breaks my heart that most people seem not to care about them. But I want to hear who you have on the line.
So we got Carson Stem, who's running for county commissioner. Carson, where are you running for county commissioner?
I'm running for county commissioner for District 9 of Rutherford County.
All right, tell me why people should vote for you.
Well, I'm running as an independent, so I won't actually be in the primary. I'll be in the general election in August.
Okay.
But as an independent, I'll be able to work directly for my constituents and the citizens of Rutherford County and not either political party. So I don't have to follow their agenda, and I can do what's best for the citizens.
So what part of the conservative agenda are you not aligned with?
Well, I do mostly align with the conservative agenda, but some things may come up, such as abortion. You know, I believe you should be able to do what you want with your body, that the government shouldn't tell you what to do.
Well, Carson, I appreciate you calling in, but you have no business running for office in Tennessee then, because that's not what the people of Tennessee believe.
Maybe not what you believe or what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a non-starter for me. And I mean, as county commissioner, I mean, why are we doing abortion on the platform at all?
We're not. You just asked me a question and I was answering it. So county commissioner, mostly what I'll be doing, of course, is setting the tax rate and approving the 9 budgets.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Give me your elevator pitch. I want to give you fair time to give me your elevator pitch on why you would be the right choice. But I mean, that's I feel like you lost a lot of the audience on that one.
I don't think so.
Well, tell me.
I got nothing to do with abortions anyways, but I'll just give me a little conversation.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Give me your elevator pitch.
Yeah, so like I said, running as an independent candidate, so obviously can directly talk to the citizens and not be a puppet of either political party. But as far as county commissioner goes, you know, we set the tax rate. I'm against tax raises. We're going to try to keep it as low as we can and not raise it. Property rights, you know, you should be able to do what you want on your own property. I'm against eminent domain.
Cool. I can vibe with those things, and I wish you the best of luck, man. Appreciate the call. 615-737-9986. If you're running for an office in Tennessee, we're down to hear from you. I did get reminded of Brandon Gill. He had a wild takedown just a couple of weeks ago. This was like the end of April. He was doing some questioning with a liberal on abortion. And I didn't even mean to get on the abortion topic. I don't know. That's like, I wouldn't have led with that. But, you know, hey, to each his own. But Brandon Gill on abortion.
You're an advocate for abortion, for abortion policy. What's your favorite type of abortion?
I am an advocate for patients having access to the full realm of reproductive health care.
But do you have a preferred method of abortion that you like?
I do not.
Let me read through a couple different methods, and I want to get your take on how much you like these. The first type is called a suction abortion. This is when the cervix is dilated and a strong suction, 29 times the power of a household vacuum cleaner, tears the baby's body apart and sucks it through the hose into a container. Do you prefer that method?
I stand by my former testimony.
That sounds kind of gross, doesn't it? Sounds pretty gruesome. Do you agree? It does to me.
I stand by how I answered your question fully and accurately.
Okay, what about this one? This one is called dilation and curettage. After dilation of the cervix, a sharp looped knife is inserted into the uterus. The baby's body is cut into pieces and extracted, often by suction. Do you prefer that method?
What I believe we are here to talk about today is the FACE Act. We are not here to talk about the
I'm
legality
asking you, you're a pro-abortion
of abortion.
advocate. I'm asking if you prefer the dilation and curettage method.
I am an access to reproductive health care advocate.
You don't want to talk about abortion itself. Why is that?
I would prefer to talk about the reason that the committee called the hearing.
Is it because it's uncomfortable to talk about?
I mean, it is a bit uncomfortable to talk about if we're being perfectly honest.
And I love that you just played that clip because it informs the audience why you and I both had the reaction to the candidate who called in. It says a lot about your character if you're totally cool with people just vacuuming up their babies. I look at that on the same moral playing field as believing it's okay to just kill your 2-year-old because you're sick of them.
Yeah, I would just challenge any pro-abortion person out there to watch an abortion. Go watch one. And then tell me if you're still pro-abortion after you watch that video.
And I'm going to give you a crazy take. That might make people mad, but I'm going to do it anyway. If we're all animals and we're not made in the image of God and the Bible is not true and God is not our creator, then there's really no way that you can argue against abortion. I mean, animals get rid of their young when they don't want them. And if we're all just animals and there is no God who created us, and Jesus was not God, he did not come to earth to die for our sins and rise again from the grave. And if all of Christian culture is incorrect and we're just animals, then why not vacuum up your kids when you don't like them?
I would prefer
It should be uncomfortable.
I would prefer, if you would let me finish my statement, to talk about the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, which is what I was asked to come
what that
here to
access
talk about.
gets. How about this one? It's called dilation and evacuation. Forceps are inserted into the uterus, grabbing and twisting the baby's body to dismember him or her. If the head is too large, it must be crushed in order to remove it. Do you prefer that method?
I would prefer to talk about the reason the hearing was called and the basis of my expert testimony.
I mean, obviously she would.
Yeah, Thug Life, Brandon Gill.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that was very, very well executed.
Huge fan of Brandon Gill. I mean, when he says he's running as an independent, I think that's because he's a Democrat and he can't get elected as a Democrat.
Well, I mean, it sounds like economically he aligns with Republicans, but I mean, two really big things that tell you a lot about a candidate's character. Do they think it's okay to kill a baby out of convenience? And also, do you think that it's okay to do all the weird trans stuff to kids? Those are two huge litmus test issues where if you even begin to waver on either of those, I've got no time for you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to support you in any way.
I'm with you. Well, if any other local candidates would like to call in after that, I don't know.
I think we just killed the vibe on the call line,
I feel
Chris.
like we killed the segment. All right, elsewhere, talking about Republicans getting elected. Spencer Pratt, did you see the ad that he dropped?
Let's drop it.
He dropped an unbelievable campaign ad where he essentially walked around Los Angeles and he pointed out where all of the elites are living, like Karen Bass and those individuals. But then he said, "This is where I live," and he titled it on X. He said "They not like us," which is very California if you pay attention to the hip hop scene. But they're calling it one of the best political ads ever. And I wonder if Spencer Pratt does have a chance to win in Los Angeles. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, you'll see the ad. But if you're listening on the radio, you'll gain something from it as well.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nicky Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back.
So at the end, it shows the trailer that he's living in because his home has been burned down. And I feel like that's the real experience for so many Californians. Whether or not you lost your house in the fire, I mean, he's walking through the tent cities of the homeless and the results of Democrat policies over the past few years. Jeannie Buss from the Los Angeles Lakers donated the max amount to his campaign. So I say that to say there are Angelinos, if you will, that are paying attention to this guy and taking him serious. Does he have a shot in Los Angeles?
So he has a shot if you see extraordinary, historic, record-breaking turnout, because I'll shoot straight with you, there's a ton of fraud in Los Angeles. The Democrat machine is going to put up a lot of illegals through that process. You're probably going to have to win by a 5-10 point margin of cheating. And that doesn't mean give up, but that means that you got to get out there and your friends got to get out there and your friends' uncles got to get out there and your friends' uncles' girlfriends got to get out there. It has to be a historic get-out-the-vote effort to overcome how much they're going to cheat.
It's important to point out that we are in a unique position here in Tennessee because we have so many California transplants. We have a lot of California listeners, so reach back out to your people and let them know who to vote for. Who has a better chance of winning? Is it Spencer Pratt or is it Steve Hilton for governor?
I would say Spencer.
Really?
And I love that Steve's fighting. I know Steve. But again, the fraud machine is pretty extraordinary. And if you're going to build a larger-than-life movement that is statistically improbable, dare I say impossible, it's much easier to do that and overcome the margin of cheating in a city compared to a state.
But, I mean, Los Angeles is bigger than some of the states in our country.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
You know, so like what he's going to be, I mean, you can make the argument that the mayor of Los Angeles has more power than the governor of Rhode Island.
Well, it's because New England really doesn't matter that much anymore. I mean, all you New Englanders can fight me, but most of the best New Englanders I know moved to Texas and Florida and Tennessee.
I'm one of those. Spencer Pratt on Fox News.
I'd love your reaction to Karen Bass, who says you're exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Karen Bass forgot that she let my house burn down and my parents' house burn down, and I had actual neighbors burn alive across the street from my childhood home. The only grief is my grief, my community's grief, that I initially started this fight on behalf of. And she forgets I have received 2 community advocate awards from the Pacific Palisades community. So it's the most insane, psycho, diabolical thing I've heard in a minute, but it's not shocking. This is the same woman that will allow 7,000 houses to burn to the ground, 12 people to burn alive, and then actively cover it up, get caught covering it up, and then say that the LA Times is lying, even though they have the emails where she's altering the after action report, which, as far as I'm concerned, is obstruction of justice. So it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he becomes mayor, but whether he does or not, I want to see him on Comedy Central as part of every one of the Comedy Central roasts. Like, he's got some serious talent.
I hope he wins. I really do. Like, I don't, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to root against blue states. Like, I want them to be successful. I want them to be cleaned up. A place like California is inherently beautiful. Like, it should be fixed. With the amount of money that we pay in federal taxes, there's no reason that every major city in our country shouldn't be looking like Dubai.
Oh, 100%. And it breaks my heart that we've just let our cities go in the United States. I mean, so many of our cities used to be, I mean, not just the pride of our nation, but the pride of Western culture. I mean, people from all over the world would say, I want to visit New York one day or Chicago one day or LA one day. I mean, maybe there's a few people who feel like that. And the few who actually do it, they come and they're like, ooh, this isn't actually that nice. And this all makes me think of the Cuba discussion we did earlier in the hour talking about Nick. Everyone pray for Nick. Pray that Nick gets out of Cuba. We love Nick. The more government control you have, the more you see this communist divide between the people who run the society and have almost all the wealth and then everyone else. So you kind of see a soft version of that in California, where there's still part of a free nation, but it's not really that free of a state. And you have the few people who run everything, who live in the mansions, and then everyone else who lives in unsafe neighborhoods. And Cuba's obviously an extreme version of that. But the more freedom you have, the less government control you have, and the more equality that you have, which is so ironic because communism is supposed to be about equality, but it actually results in the opposite. It results in a small ruling class and everybody else.
I think a lot of what you just described could actually be used to describe Nashville in certain areas too. You look at downtown, the amount of street juice, the smells that you get, it's not a nice place. Property taxes are going up. Businesses are being forced to close. And the government in the city is like, yeah, no, we're not helping you out.
Almost everyone I know in the business community does not live in Davidson County. How crazy is that? I mean, I really hope and pray that we can change that.
Yeah, we should. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, we got to do a lot of work. I mean, you look at some other cities that were going a negative direction, and a lot of work was done to fix that. So some of my friends put together the government now that's running Dallas, and Dallas is doing better than, I mean, Dallas and Miami are really doing the best of any of the major cities in the country. And I won't give away some of their secrets, but they did some wild, crazy things to manipulate and trick the Democrats to get some real pro-business, common sense people in there. So it can be done. But you gotta really be shrewd. You gotta know what you're doing.
Josh, where can we keep up with you online?
At Josh Tifo, JoshThifault, at Josh Tifo on pretty much everything. And then also, if you're out in East Tennessee tonight at UT Knoxville, I'll be speaking at 6 p.m. with Riley Gaines and Senator Blackburn. Most of the event will be an open Q&A. So whatever you got, show up and hit me with the toughest question you got.
Or Marsha Blackburn. Hey, you can hit her with all the questions as well. It's 11:52. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Murphy with Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and this morning we are out and about at my house, my brand new house that I've been talking about on the radio, with Nate from USS. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm excellent. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
We invited Nate out. Now, obviously, when you're a new homeowner, especially when you buy a house that's got a few years on it, you don't know what you're dealing with in terms of foundation. And I know that Nate knows a lot more about what I don't see and what I don't know about than I do. So bring the experts out and get them to check out your house. Hey guys, Matt Murphy again with Nate with USS, and Nate has just wrapped up kind of a look at the house. And Nate, what'd you find?
Well, your house is in pretty good shape for the age of it. I had to look pretty hard to find.
Okay.
Your house being on a slope like it is here, I think we could do a lot of good by trying to terminate your downspouts a little further from the house there.
Okay.
Roof water is the killer of foundations, and so if we can just get it to a positive grade to drain away from your house, I think that's real cheap insurance.
You want to kind of get it out and downhill.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
So
the idea.
make sure that it doesn't come right back down towards the foundation walls and causing issues, settlement or leakage.
Now, if folks are watching this video and they are like, we need to get Nate out to the house to do a look. I mean, it took, I watched you do it. It's, 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
To do a comprehensive kind of an examination around the house. And they just give you a call and schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. You can call our main phone number, or you can call reach USSTN.com and schedule right through the website there. Our girls in the call center will get back to you just about immediately, as long as it's during business hours. So
this just makes a lot of sense, folks, for you guys to do an examination of your house like we've done, to check it out. I'm going to get those gutters done with Nate and his team at USS, and then we'll do a video and let you know how those look at the end of all of this. So thank you, guys.
Hey, that'd be great.
We appreciate you, brother.
Matt, we appreciate you.
Are you willing to end this conflict with Iran charging tolls for passage through the strait?
Us charging tolls?
Iran.
What about us charging tolls?
Is that something you're considering?
I'd rather do that than let them have them, right? Why shouldn't we? We're the winner. We won, okay? They are militarily defeated. The only thing they have is the psychology of, oh, we're going to drop a couple of mines in the water, all right? No, we have a concept where we'll charge tolls, okay? I thought you meant us.
.57 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. I got to get out of here. I got to go vote. I got voting to do.
Vote early, vote often.
Rutherford County, earlier today, they said only 5% of the county had voted.
Oh, in the early voting?
No. Like so far today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they're waiting for you.
I know.
Vote early and vote often.
I vote. I try to max vote. I'll vote 2 or 3 times.
That's good.
4 or 5 sometimes.
Sometimes several times. But it's up, you know what? It depends on how I'm feeling that day. How many precincts I want to hit.
I get to vote twice because I vote for my wife.
Just as the Lord intended. Because I'm a landowner.
I'm kidding.
You let the kids vote for your wife.
So let the kids vote for the wife. What are you paying attention to today? What stories are you watching?
Talk a little bit about that, obviously, redistricting. Talk a little bit. Quick, everybody, get in here. We're going to redistrict maybe, sort of, kind of. That'll be interesting. Talk a bit about that.
My favorite part about the redistricting has been Justin Pearson.
Exactly. Donald Trump is a white supremacist domestic terrorist who is seeking to destroy our democracy by any means necessary, including by usurping democracy itself and the voices of the people. And Governor Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, and Lieutenant Governor McNally have all decided to join him in this effort to destroy our democracy, to take away our voice, and to attack black people and black representation.
How dare you not let me have an old white man represent me anymore?
Just, it's always the same, right? Like, doesn't matter what side of the island is. Why is it always crazy gets the microphone?
It's so true. I will say this. I don't want to I don't want to say mean things about the guy. I want to say something nice. And I made the point earlier in the show. Best fro in politics.
Absolutely. His fro's on point.
It really is.
It is on point.
Find something that you could agree on with people and start from there.
It is on point. Big time.
I would tell Justin Pearson that he has the best fro in politics.
There you go.
And I would mean it. I would mean it.
You would mean it? Well, yeah. Is there anybody else that's got a good-looking fro? Not Fetterman.
Nope.
He's fro-less, much like me. Looking good, baby.
Yep.
Looking good. So you vote early, you vote often.
That's what we do.
Vote several times today, people. Make sure you get out there and rock the vote. And people that you see that are voting that you're not particularly agreeing with vote-wise, make sure you steal their ballots.
Chad's in next. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.